Greetings, everybody. How's it going today? Hey there. How's it going?
Hey there. Sorry, I had to step away. I had to handle an outdoor thing for a second.
No worries. We just went live, so just
Greetings, everyone.
change our video. Where I got the video going.
By the way, I had a huge update. I just wanted to make sure that was that all the stuff I need for the case.
Um. Oh, what do you mean in future? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That. Sorry. Sorry, folks. 1 second. Business stuff. Yeah. There's a bunch of new things in there for new assets and stuff that I'm adding in.
Okay,
So yeah.
good. I just wanted to make sure because I couldn't find it earlier based on the Jira.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I had to ask a quick question, everybody. Sorry
yeah,
about that.
no worries, no worries. Yeah, that sync is going to be the creation of the repository that I was talking about.
Oh, good, good.
Okay, trying to change our video, which apparently it doesn't let me do it in pop out. Just,
Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I meant to be a few minutes early, but suddenly I had to run outside.
no worries. You know we never start on time. Yes, that's. I always have loads of fun with this stuff.
Did you just come on live, or
Yeah,
had you given your introduction yet and everything?
no. I literally just clicked the button about 10 seconds before you joined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hold on, everybody. I gotta kill the camera for a second. Because this thing is acting weird. I don't think the pop out updates the. I'm gonna change the format of the. Yeah, so order should be good. And then picture, size it again. No, still doing the stupid thing. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. Let's that one more time. And this doesn't. If this last thing doesn't work, then. Then I'll switch over to the old way of doing things. Yeah, why is picture? It's like it has its own. Settings where it's got you spotlighted, and that's not how I have it set to be.
Mm.
It didn't do that last month. Okay, so or earlier in the month, I guess. Let me just change the. Yeah, there. Okay, yeah, there's that instead. There. That's it. We'll just have to do this for the moment.
What's happening?
I had to change the camera, what it was doing with the camera because I have this they have a like a pop out thing so that way it's just the camera views and it's like cleaner and stuff, but
Mm.
it's not acting right. It was like making you big and me and small tiny thing instead of side by side. So
That's odd.
uh, oh
What was it based on who was talking at that moment?
no, that's the thing. You were set up as a spotlight, so you were like
Oh,
pinned as the big screen. So I don't know, but I'll have to mess with it and figure out what I broke. I'm sure I did something wrong. I'm always doing something wrong. Um, so I guess that's Murphy. up there. Murphing all the way says happy belated birthday, Scotty.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
And let's see. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I still got my scripting to go through and everything like that, but I want to get over to Castellatos, so I'm gonna, before I even go into all the stuff explaining who the hell we are and what we're doing here, um, I am currently in our little dev area where we put stuff out that we're working on, and I have
GM
a,
Live, right?
I'm sorry,
GM Live, right?
yeah, yeah, GM Live.
Okay.
I have the three-story Cobalt Tower Village House up here. This is going to be the grand prize, as it were, prize number 5 in our prizing drawing today, which the phrase is go oct something. Sorry, guys, I'm going to go do this for a second real quick because, yeah, there's go oct berserk. Um, Octo Berserk. That's it, Octo Berserk. And nice, Strider. Thanks. So say that in game. There's other people up there who've said it and spelled it right. So go for that. Um, and
Did you say Octo Berserk?
yeah, yeah, Octo
Okay.
Berserk. I think that was a reference to the fact that we basically had a ton of stuff for the store in the game and everything this month. So, but
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure. Say, Allium would have to speak to that, and she's AFK at this moment. I think she's
Mm.
working on some more stuff. So, um, okie dokie. Let me see here now. All right. So anyway, I wanted to show this off. So I'll walk through it for a second, so everybody can see what it looks like. Just to give you get some anticipation going. So we'll be giving this away at the end of this hour, which is about 30 to 45 minutes from now when we'll run the thing. And this is a village lot house, so anybody who's completed the quests in the game, the main quest storyline, will be able to get we'll have a free village lot, and they could put this right on there if they want to do that. And of course, you can get village lots in the Crown Store as well. Interesting. I'm just going to note one thing in here for this is that this tower doesn't have any roof access. So when we get to this one and we update it, I'm thinking you might want to consider putting a hatch on the hatch in there or something. Even though it is a bulbous roof, but it would be interesting if the players could get up there. So anyway, this is going to be prize number 5 for today.
And let's see,
And
what's the easiest way for me to get to the actual, to see the actual stream itself?
you can go to Twitch. Just make sure it's muted. Twitch.tv/Shroud of the Avatar.
Okay.
And I'm heading over to Castellatos now. And everybody who has the sound of my voice, who hears the sound of my voice while we're doing the stream, should head on over to Castellatos so we can get the Atos buff up to hopefully maximum. All right. So while that's loading, I'll start going all through my stuff here. Oh yeah, look at that. I do have the prize phrase right in front of me, and I didn't even see it. Okay, so um, welcome to the Shroud of the Avatar's 142nd release live stream. Each month we have a live stream after we publish the game update. This month's update went live on September 29th. The monthly live stream is generally on the Friday following the release, which is today. Sometimes it has to be put off. I've done some Saturdays, and you have to skip weeks, things like that, depending on scheduling. But you know, one of the things we changed here, and interjecting some commentary, uh, is that the release is now on the last Monday of the month instead of the last Thursday, which gives us more time to decompress between the release and the live stream. Gives me a little bit more time to prep and not be rushing around like a mad person. Try the Avatar is a free-to-play online game with over 400 zones to explore and even more player-created towns and dungeons. Follow us here on Twitch at /Shroud of the Avatar, on Facebook at /Shroud of the Avatar, or via RSS on our website, shroudoftheavatar.com. We also have 3 optional subscription tiers to help support game development. The optional subscription tiers range from $9 to $27 a month with a ton of rewards and perks. Subscription plans page can be found on our website in the store menu. And that we go into lots of details up there about what you get on a monthly basis, and then there's quarterly additional rewards, and I think there's even one that's like every 6 months. But I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's definitely worth the price. And let's see. All right, so we have at least one live stream a month. This month, this is the second live stream of the month, I think. Last month we had 4 live streams, so I think it was 4. And I'm still hoping to do more live streams this month as well, bringing back the just basically ad hoc, get on here, start working, show off what we're doing, that type of thing, instead of just making it this type of an official formatted type of stream. And I actually wanted to stream at least twice this week and did not get to do it. I could have streamed, but it definitely would have been boring because I was actually coding HTML. So that's not really interesting in any way, shape, or form.
We could show some of the stuff that we weren't able to show on the stream because I wasn't able to be around. But the days that I was working on the podium stuff, if that's something that they would like to see this time around, I can show that off as opposed to the other stuff I'm working on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, the thing you're working on right now, I don't know. I'm assuming you're not anywhere near able to present anything for the case.
Not quite. I'm setting things up so I can, do some of the major production work so that you can get what you need. That's actually happening in the background as we speak.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, so I mean, at minimum, we'll talk about it, and yeah, we might be able to show some of that stuff off. Of course, the podium stuff we haven't put into the game yet, so we have to figure out when we're going to do that and under what circumstances. Um, let's see here, the rest of my stuff. We have a live stream 1 month, blah 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 blah. Okay, so we will have at least 2 prize and giveaways at the end of the first hour, and one more for each hour after that. Each hour we complete after that. Um, to enter and type the phrase "Go Octo Berserk" into any in-game chat, including whispers, or make a purchase on the website. Players can enter the phrase in-game or make a purchase on the website to enter any time during the day of the stream, prior to or during the live stream, up to when we do the drawings themselves. So if you read the release notes, that's really what we're talking about here. The prize phrase is actually put into the release notes. Of course, those release notes come out at this point on Monday, so you'll have advanced knowledge. And starting at 12:01 a.m. on the day of the live stream, you could enter in the prize phrase into any chat in the game, and you would still be entered. So if you can't be here for the chat, I'm sorry, be here for the stream, then you can still be eligible to get prizes. You do not have to be present to win. Okay, so that's more information I've ever given before, so I think that sounds good. So most of the people know who we are. We're gonna do introductions, and then I got a bunch of housekeeping to do. So I'm Ravalox, and I go by the title of chief cook and bottle washer. I have many hats, touch a lot of different stuff. This month, for example, like I just said, I'm going to be doing updates on the website, um, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done up there. And I am also doing some world building. We're going to have some dungeons going in, and player dungeon rooms and things along those lines. So I touch a whole bunch of different stuff. So who are you?
Hi, I'm Scott Jones, and I am the titles, whatever, art director, lead artist, art guy, whatever you want to call me. And I'm working on a bunch of art for the game right now, and have been in the industry for years and years, and use my talents where I can, and have been friends with folks that kind of started this game in the earliest days, all the way up to the reinvention of the game these days. So it's good to be around, and it's good to see you guys.
I've um I've been in the industry before. Before I came to Shadow the Avatar, I was actually working um, on stuff for Elder Scrolls Online, and decades even before that, I have my own company that had published games in the '80s. So I have a gap there, but I was very happy to be able to get back involved and end up getting to the point where I'm uh, the lead developer on the this project. So uh, looking forward to a lot of stuff here. 2026 is going to bring uh, changes that are external to the game. Not I can't go into details yet, but things that are going to be improvements and stuff like that. We're getting all sorts of um, I don't know, what do we call those tick lists or punch lists together of things that we want to get sorted out. And then we're gonna talk to you guys all about it, the community, and get ourselves into a hopefully better situation where we could get things done quicker next year. So anyway, a little bit being a little bit vague, but there's good stuff coming, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's a lot of work and a bit of stress this year to get this all lined up and ready, but I think it's going to be worth it. So, um, let me see here. Before I go into my um, housekeeping stuff, these are the other prizes for today. Um, and we have Airmid over here presenting the fireplace. um, it's like the Price is Right, you know. So this is a teleporter. This is going to be well, it is. It's in the game already, and it's in the store. Um, Basically, you will be able to use this to enter into your dungeon. So the fire can still be turned on and off as usual, except that it's green to indicate that it's I wanted to have something different than the blue swirly thing. I really want to have some that are kind of incognito and don't have all sorts of special stuff. But so the green fire is an indicator that something's different there. And obviously, if a player hovers over something, it pretty much tells them that it's a teleporter. If you click on the fireplace itself, then it'll come up and tell you that you could do your dungeon stuff. So there are two different places you could click on this. The fireplace comes in the store as the set because we do sell this as a regular fireplace with a regular orange and red fire. Um, so this way, if you don't have that kit already or whatever, I'm not just giving you the hearth. I'm going to give you the whole set. So that way you have um, the ability to put it all together as you normally would.
Nice. Extra building blocks are always good.
Yeah. And then we also have, get closer to the thing. It's all working. All right, cool. We have a, what is it? It's called, yeah, Haunted Witch Doll, which already is in the store and everything. This is going to be one of the prizes, all the prizes for today. um, and then a witch's hat, and this is the deed for the Kobold Village home. Figured I put it out there, and then this cauldron, which is a witch's cauldron. Oh, go ahead, do that again.
Oh, you want me to click on it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So it has some nice bubbling and mist effects on it, and of course a fire below it. So this was crafted by Allium. She put that together.
Yeah. Yeah, that turned out nicely too. I like it.
Yeah, I did the fireplace hearth, and she did this one here. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, they all turned out good.
Oh, that's right. I knew I forgot something. Give me a second. Well, I guess I could still ramble on here, but yeah, I see. I even brought it up in here, but I didn't. Let me see if I could get this thing big enough to see it in here because Unity is so damn laggy. You know, I was messing around with Unity 2022 over the last couple of days. Oh, really? Oh, newer Unity? What? No. And it definitely is more responsive. Way more responsive. Doesn't take. I think it still takes about a year and a day to start, but when I went to go shut it down, it just didn't sit there and stare at me. It actually shut down. So that was pretty cool. All right, yeah. Let me.
Thanks for the birthday wishes, Cat Dude.
Now, the reason why I'm going to show this to you guys in the editor is because this is in the game. It's in the store right now, and I'm only bringing up one of them. This is one of a set of Halloween boxes. I guess I have to get onto a lot. Oh, I actually did. I do have one already. I don't know what size that is. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So that's the large one.
Pardon our testing mess. By the way, we're trying to come up with a way to display things as we kind of want to bring them forth and make them ready to be provided. And so this is still kind of an us up in the air with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, actually, this is my scene.
Oh, this is your scene.
Yep. Yeah. So this is just stuff that I do. You know, testing, QA testing and stuff on some of the stuff. So like,
Hmm.
again, Allium made this. Allium is just awesome. That's all there
The
is to
fish
it.
gateway.
Yeah, and then she made this as well. So and yeah, we had a little I went in here and I actually remapped this and stuff. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I hadn't
so
seen that.
eh?
I hadn't seen that yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a fish rack. It's for smoking fish, I think is what thing is. So the idea is that fires would be put underneath it. So um but yeah, the wood needed to be fixed up and
Yeah.
actually
Now it looks
pretty
like it
good.
fits. It fits within the general quality of like the time I spent on the crafting table stuff.
Hmm.
So like if it sat up nearby like the skinning table or the butcher's table or whatever, it would look like it fit right in. So that's a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, she did great. And then the I mean I remapped stuff, but I didn't really do much of anything, so I don't care.
Well, but I mean that's something that you weren't able to do just a couple of years ago at the most.
Oh yeah, well, geez, 4 or 5 months ago, really, it was kind of like a I want to turn this around. I just want to get things into the sun. Come on, please.
It suddenly hates life.
Yeah, really. Come on. I'm probably just too close to it or something. Huh, why is it not wanting to please?
That's weird.
Yeah, really.
All you did is turn it around. I didn't see it sitting on anything.
Oh, it snapped green for a second. I don't know.
Does it think you're away or something? No.
It's got something to do with, what because again, this is in the editor and everything. So my
Uh,
assumption is that this is actually working in game. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but I just wanted to try to move it around. So the fish tails that are out here, this is another example where I went in there and I went into the FBX for this, where the meshes are, and duplicated the fish, flipped the fish, saved it as a separate object. So now the FBX had another mesh, and that way we could have fish, not both with their tails both in the same direction. So,
Mhm.
just aesthetics, but um, yeah. So I am definitely enjoying that. I mean, it was like Watershed. I mean, I was having so much difficulty with well, it's with 3ds Max's interface, and I still, I have, Google, like, where the hell's this? Oh, okay. you know, and but like I said, even when you were showing me stuff, I already knew what vertices were, and that type of thing. Is I've been doing 3D modeling uh, in the past, and my first foray into any 3D work like that was with Doom.
Ah,
And that was at 95, I guess, between 93 and 95, something like that. Then Doom came with an editor. I think it was Doom 2. I don't remember. I don't remember if the original Doom had the editor or not, but the editor wasn't like you would think, like what was that, dungeon, there's dungeon build kits and stuff that in some games, I can't remember the game, but I know that there was one that had that type of thing. And you'd go in there and you'd be able to snap pieces together, and that would be about it, right?
right.
So in Doom, when you went in there, they were giving you pretty much, I think, the same tool they were using. And of course, this is early days for 3D. It's first person shooters. Doom was pretty much, I think, the first one, right? And uh, they decided they'd allow the end users, whoever bought the game, to design their own levels, and um, it was definitely a challenge. The editor would crash left and right, and the reason why the editor would crash is, of course, the code wasn't as uh, robust as it should have been, catching errors and you know preventing exceptions, but um, it was literally, if you faced like a normal, right, in a mesh normal, if you
Hmm.
faced it the wrong way, and the vertices were not set right, then that's what caused crashes. You would start getting rainbow effects on the screen, because the void, there was no void. They didn't
Oh, right.
have, yeah. So what you would end up seeing is that if you had a glitch, you would start to get like the edge of that um poly drawing over and over and over again. So it would look really weird, psychedelic. But anyway, so not a stranger to that the mechanics of it, but the tools nowadays are obviously way more complex and stuff. I've not been doing. I did 3D stuff back then. I did some modeling early on, when it was in its infancy. But then after that, I didn't touch it. I didn't really have a need. So, um, and I left the gaming industry for over a decade, or about a decade actually. It was almost to the day, a decade, when I came back and started working on uh, ESO.
Ah,
So I stopped doing game work. I was involved with the Sphere project, and that was going to be an MMO called Earth Online, and that was between 2000 and 2004. By 2004, I because of what happened with Earth Online, which actually I would say go look it up on the web, but it's not really up there anymore. I've talked about this in the past, so I won't go into a lot of details, but basically, one of the employees hijacked the project, and uh, ended up uh, locking the devs out of it, and the whole thing went to crap within a few months, and within a year, the thing went offline. because the guy did not know what he was doing, didn't know how to repair servers, databases, or even work on uh, world building. Um, so that went south. When that project didn't happen, because at that point I literally was supposed to go up to Boston for an interview, and um, yes, we were all like a community of developers that were working on this Sphere thing, and then when they started moving it over to this MMO concept, then it was going to be made more official, and we were going to actually get paid and all that neat stuff. So um, and basically, uh, one of my friends who was involved with this as well told me, just like, yeah, don't bother going up there. It's horrible. It's a mess. At that point, that's actually when I stopped playing Ultima Online and concentrated on my engineering career for a while. And then by 2013, it was really technically 2012, I guess, when I made the decision. Um, and got involved in ESO pre-alpha, and um, and then stayed there and helped them develop the Lua um, API, and did some add-ons for it. So then after that, it started becoming a headache, so I switched over to Shroud and
Yeah,
quickly got involved
you're
here.
not during those early UO days. That was when I was literally like that was when I was still art director for Ultima 9, and we paused it. Or it's actually that's right before I became the art director for Ultima 9. I was still one of the lead artists, and that's when they switched us over and put all of our focus on Ultima Online. And that's when I was just working on some of the tile art and interface for that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Way back when.
So yeah, when I came over to Shroud of the Avatar, I also pretty much immediately got involved because uh, the folks who were doing, I think it was like WTF Dragon, and a couple of other guys were they originally had a um, IRC server up, Internet Relay Chat. This is OG stuff, original gangster. Um, but uh, it was pretty much in 2015 when Discord came about that they decided to switch over to Discord and started developing a bot for it and stuff like that. But then something occurred and they ended up not doing it anymore. So after a few weeks of it not being online, and I already recognized how useful it was, so I reached out to them and reached out to Portalarium and ended up um, working on my own and made Sodabot from scratch. Obviously, a library. There's a library for it, um, but the custom stuff for it and all that type of thing. Which Sodabot is in sore need of updates at this point. I know it's not currently giving out release information anymore because that has to be done manually, and I I I pre-populated that chart for about 5 or 6 years worth of data, and it's run out. So now I have to go in there and pre-populate more again. Other aspects of it also are manual right now, but need to be automated. And there's more that could be done, but more important things to do, sadly, at this point. Before I get there. Anyways, it was only within a couple of months that I ended up starting to get involved in that, and then went down to um, Austin and met you actually,
Right.
and um, very quickly became friends, and I invited you to a Roger Waters concert.
That's right.
Yeah. So we when I went down there, I ended up meeting with Jesus, like everybody under the sun, and, talking about the Sodabot thing. And even at that point, I told Chris that Sodabot, even though I was making it and everything, Sodabot was Shroud of the Avatar's code. it was theirs. I was just donating it. I was just doing it and put it, because it was. I figured when when the game went live, when it went to release, they're gonna need that. You know what I mean? It was that bot had because we don't use Discord, for like right now the stream, but the prisoning script was in there. I wrote a prisoning script for SodaBot, and that predates the prisoning script we use now. So mine doesn't do duplicates though. So um, anyway, there's integration that I want to do. I've actually recently been looking at what I need to do. I did change some code in the game so that way I can expose, for internally for me, um, some things which the hourly the rotating sales in the Crown Store. I'm going to see if I can get SodaBot to have a command that you'll be able to hit, and it'll tell you what the current sales items are. It will not know what the next ones are because the game really literally randomly picks those at the top of that 2 hour cycle, and then that that's where I'm actually exporting that data into a place where SodaBot can get it and all that neat stuff. So I'm trying to integrate SodaBot into the server side of things, make it a little bit better. So anyway, another digression, but just saw something that I made. We saw something that Allium made. Here is something that Laney made, and this is a Halloween gift box, which is affectionately called the Gore box. And
Oh, it actually has shifting gore on it. That's nice.
yes, yeah, and again, it's funny too because when she was doing this and I said, you can make that move, and so as soon as I saw the texture she was using, I was like, Doom, because if you remember back when you were playing Doom, they actually did have this type of a, there were like if you look close, there's like I think there's like an eye in there or something. There's some stuff floating around in there. Yeah, that right there I think is you know it's not it came out a little bit more like as if it's foil wrapping than gore, but it's really cool. I like this box. This is neat. And
Well, have we had? I mean, I don't recall seeing gift wrapping before that actually had kind of motion action going on in it. So that's kind of cool.
yeah, this is the first one. Yeah. And so anyway, that's it reminded me of that. It was like, oh, that would be so cool to do that. So um yeah, so those are in the store. It's our currently our typical set, which is a large, medium, and small box. Um, I think this is the large box. This is the medium box, and then there's one that's even smaller than that. But anyway, so that'll be in the store right now. I believe these are part of our spooky cycle. So they'll be in the store now, and then somewhere around the end, Halloween, the end of the month or whatever, they'll go away for the year, and they'll come back next fall. So if you're interested, grab them now while they're there. Let's see now. Okay, next thing. All right. Housekeeping. Okay, so this is the principal's office part now. Okay, so for the community, if you're flagged as PvP, I said this last month too, but it bears repeating. If you're flagged as PvP, you're accepting the risks. So if you when you're flagged as PvP, yes, there's a bonus that you get for XP as you go adventuring around. A lot of players will actually flag PvP because they want the bonus, and then they go places where they don't think that PvPers will come kill them, but sometimes they do. So 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 if you get killed by a PvPer because you're flagged as PvP, you literally accepted those risks. You made that decision to do that. So please don't report PvPers that you're saying are harassing you because they're killing you. Um, if you're not skilled as a PvPer, then yeah, you're going to be easy target. But that's all within game mechanics. So there's nothing against TOS for that. Um, if you know, basically for something like that to be a TOS problem, they would have to be griefing you, which is not when you're flagged, because you could unflag, then they can't do that, and that therefore it's not griefing. But like if they trapped you someplace or kept killing you and over in a respawn situation, then that's something we would look at. But in general, what we've seen in reports over the last few months, none of those are actionable because it's just standard game mechanics, and you do have the option to not flag. So, all right, next item, pickup groups and parties. Yeah, I'm going to read exactly what I wrote here, and then I'll try to expand on it, I think. If players are truly abusive, they can be reported. Getting kicked from a party is not against TOS and should not be reported unless one of the TOS rules have been violated. Please note that the player base has the ability to self-police. Avoid groups where playstyle or personalities conflict. Do not call the offending player out in public, chats, forums, Discord, etc., nor should players threaten or attempt to get others banned. Game mechanics allow you to block players that are offensive to you. Utilize these methods. If a player pursues you in game in a manner that violates the TOS, like I was just saying, griefing, that type of thing, be sure to document it and contact support via email. Do not DM developers or admins. The only response you will get from developers or admins outside of support is to contact support. Okay? If like even if somebody's harassing you right at that moment, then you know, it's not likely that we're going to be online. So, uh, you know, there are devs on, but we don't have like a schedule where we're, doing actual GM or admin support in game. So document what it is, do the report thing. We could see in the logs. We could see every step every one of you takes. Every mouse click, every movement of your mouse is logged.
We know when
So
you're sleeping. We know when you're away.
yeah,
So
and I
easy.
mean, it's like so like people, as a side comment, I guess people wonder, it's like, well, how do you know if somebody's botting? That's how we know when somebody's doing all sorts of skills, like 50 skills in 5 seconds, and their mouse is just sitting there going, yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to touch me, yeah, and so on and so forth. We know that that's botting. So. And I'm not revealing anything that anybody should not realize or any specifics here, but there are a number of ways that we do this. Everything is logged is really the point of this. So I mean, you can't even go like into a whisper and threaten somebody and then say that, oh well, nobody else is going to see it. The devs are able to get that stuff. So guys, chill. Just remember, be bad. Don't be a dick. So, all right. Now, with all that said, there's one more that I will say because it was in public. I know that Laz and Jack had covered this on one day, and then there was a follow up after I posted my thing, which I did not hear about or see or anything like that. But um, there's a couple of things I want to say here. Is first, just to say, remember what I just was talking about as far as TOS. Don't call out other players. If there's something that a player has done that's wrong, that's against TOS, then they should be reported. If you feel like reporting them, and if there's an exploit or they're doing something really bad, then you can send an email to support, and then we will address it. Um, but basically, you don't want to go on the forums or Discord or on your stream or anything and say, "Oh, this guy's a jerk," or "This guy's doing this," or "This is happening," or "That's happening," um, because that's going to get you in trouble. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so the overall thing, and again, the forum post is up there for everybody to read at this point. We have a player who just actually recently joined the game and was really excited about the game. I mean, granted. Um, However, he didn't treat folks well. And actually, I can't really speak to how he was with other players, but I could tell you for a fact that he was definitely um, toxic with the developer staff. So basically, we were not really taking any action on anything because everybody's got personality stuff, and we're waiting to see where this thing kind of went with it. He originally, or I should say they, because don't really know if it's male or female. They had submitted some emails to us like within a week of joining the game uh, with a whole long laundry list of ideas and things that they wanted to do and stuff that were not in the existing mechanics of the game. I mean, and again, anybody who's read the posts up on the forum will know about this. They wanted to do, and they were what they were calling a player campaign. And really, I mean, not bad ideas. They wanted to have some stuff that I'd have to require a lot of customization code. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth of time to go in there and make these changes. But our initial response was, okay, great, just post a wish list. Go on the forums and tell them what to do, explain it all, and see, get some player support. Get the community to back you up on it and everything. So um, they went up there and they posted like a couple of vague comments and about what they were kind of intending to do, but not even what they had sent us in internal. Well, I can say internally, but what they sent to support, they didn't put back up on the forums either. So, which is a shame because there were some things in there that I'm sure the player base would have loved to have looked at. And you know, I keep ideas, so you never know. Some of the stuff might come in. Some of the stuff is not feasible. There were things where uh, one example, just to say, was that there was a suggestion of having a part of a POT be dedicated to open PvP, which you can't do with the current technology. Um, that would be significant to be able to do that type of a thing, like make an arena or something like that within a POT and say that you could have open PvP in that arena as opposed to the rest of the area on the POT. Nice idea, but definitely not something that's feasible at this moment. So anyway, with all that said, they got frustrated with the fact that they weren't getting any kind of response from us, and um, it went from there. The rest of that is actually up on the forums right now. I will not be leaving it up there for long, but since they decided to take their issue public, I responded in kind, and it's all without emotion. So I even think I even said in the thing that I waited a few days to respond to that. Um, it wasn't even a few. It was really like less than 48 hours to respond to it to make sure that I wasn't being emotional in my response because the way he treated, and it's all there, so I'm going to say, Laney, he treated Laney very poorly, um, and um, most of his frustration and everything was directed specifically to her, and that's not right. It's definitely against the TOS. Um, and some of the things he said that are not in the public view are definitely not kosher. They're not good at all. Um, so he got to a point where we had to address it. It's been addressed, and I don't think we will be having any issues from him. And I will just say one thing is that he is also the person that went up there and started posting about game servers being put up in China and some other baloney and stuff about the American DSA, which doesn't exist, by the way. Um,
What is that?
it's a part of the GPDR laws that they passed in Europe. Um, the DSA specifically has to do with um, making sure that um, I have it documented here someplace. I don't remember where the hell I put it, but oh, actually, I know where I put it. I will actually read to you what I got because that way it's not um,
Mysterious.
wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't like being wrong. So, all right. What he was saying is that there was something called the American Digital Services Act. And what he's talking about is really the European Union's Digital Services Act, which is a regulation designed to create a safer online environment by holding digital platforms accountable for illegal and harmful content and to protect user fundamental rights. Um, uh, in the United States, the current administration has actually indicated that they feel that the DSA that exists in Europe is, has gone too far. It's an impact on free speech, and I'll stop there. But there's more, I guess, maybe tariffs or something. I don't know.
Oh,
But the I don't get involved in that mess. The point there is that uh, even if there was an American Digital Services Act, it would actually protect us against him. So I'm not sure why they cited that. They cited that actually thinking that that was going to get them a full refund or something on any money that they had spent with the game, which
hmm.
you know I won't make any comments on that because they made a claim as to how much they'd spent, but they have not spent that much. So then there was another one that was referenced as well, which is Communications Decency Act, which does exist in the United States, but again is actually there to protect the people running websites and forums from being harassed and sued by people based on what they've posted on it. So uh, it, this happens every once in a while. You know, here's the thing: we all have personalities. We all have, you know, different personalities. We will have conflicts. Even internally, we have conflicts. Recently, we've Scotty and I had an argument recently, and you know, uh, we apologize to each other and we move on. We're a family. We're pretty tight. So, um, you know, um, there's
That's mainly because I'm vile and pernicious, and you can't look away.
um, and you know, it's every one of us has had issues between each other, and uh, you know, we calm down, we apologize to each other, and we move on. But the um, the thing with players, sometimes they get into their corners, and that's where they want to be. So um, this is just a situation where sometimes we have players that come into the game that have these personalities, and we're not going to just arbitrarily tell somebody they can't play the game just because they might be a little crunchy, or gruff or whatever word you want to use. Um, it's just when they violate TOS, and even then, like this person had been a little bit like I said, gruff is probably a light word, but gruff with us, and again Laney, about these things over the last month, and we didn't suspend them or ban them or anything like that for that. And then uh, over the last few, I guess it was like, I don't know, so over the weekend at some point there, I think that's what actually triggered this public email that or public forum post they sent out. Um, he or they, sorry, the he is generic, so sorry. Um, they they were in universe chat and were asked to stop, um, and did refuse to. So they got devoiced, and they consider the devoice a ban for some reason. So um, that's where all that went. But anyway, if you're curious, you could take a look at that forum post, and that'll be up there for, I think it's in general, but if you go to the dev tracker, you'll find my response, and then you'll be able to find it that way. And exactly, Rinaldi. Yeah, sour apples will be sour. And again, hey, look, there are players who joined. I know one player who joined, and in the first like 30 to 60 days, and this is years ago, I thought, oh, this is one that's probably going to end up, disappearing, leaving the game or getting banned quickly. And um, you know, we we ended up having to, send him a note and talk to him and warn him about some behavior. And actually, that player's become one of the more stable, you know, consistent players for years. So, it's all relative. And as I said, it goes back down to like the PvP stuff and everything. There's different personalities, and the game provides ways to block other people from, interacting with you if you don't get along with them. You don't have to play with everybody. So that's all I can say about that type of stuff. But every once in a while, we're going to get one of these types of players. We do not ban a lot of people. Whenever we do a ban, then you'll see people come out of the woodwork about how, that we ban everybody, and why are we doing this when we have such a small community, and blah blah blah. It's I could just really say the same thing on the opposite way. We're a small community, so we don't want to become, what was that, Guild Wars or something? I forget the one. There was some game that was very toxic. Um, no, it wasn't Guild Wars. It was, Rift. Yeah, Rift
Oh,
was.
Rifts of Talara, Rift of Talara.
Yeah, it's an MMO. I don't know if it's that one. I don't know if it's that name or not because I never played it. But I know that Rift um, was the name. In fact, wasn't it around the time of Tabula Rasa? And I think it was the same company who made it, right?
Maybe so.
Yeah, I think. But anyway, point is that that game became famous for a toxic community, and obviously we don't want that to happen here. So said we pretty much bend over backwards tried not to ban people. But if the community is screaming about stuff, and there's clear violations, and they're repetitive, or they start to threaten people or threaten the game or threaten us, then yeah, obviously we're gonna have to ban them. So anyway, so I will probably be taking that post down at the end of the day today. Um, because the only reason why I left it up there as long as I have is because I wanted I didn't want the person who was berating and or uh, abusing staff, and or even if this was against a player, I still would have done it the same way. I will have the back of anybody who's not at fault, and I left it up there because I wanted to make sure that people didn't just see their side of that story where they say some baloney, and then it goes on to into other venues where people start theorizing about what it is. That's the biggest enemy we have, is where people just go on and make stuff up because they say, well, the devs never responded to this, so we're thinking it's that, so I figured I'd respond. And that's about it. So second here. So that's all the housekeeping stuff. Sorry for it to be taking so long. I think we're actually overdue now for doing prizing. So give you guys a couple of minutes. Go ahead and uh, put your prize phrase in the game if you have not yet, and we will be running the prizes. We'll be doing 2 rounds of prizes momentarily, within see, within the next 5 minutes.
And by the way, Radicus 2K, yes, I did. I did just quote Frank Zappa earlier. I was wondering if anyone would get that.
Yeah,
I am the slime oozing out of your TV set. It's
nice.
true.
No, capitals do not matter in the phrase. Um, I saw somebody had an exclamation point at the end of it too, and that should be okay. It's actually looking for the characters. I type them in all lowercase in the code. Um, so yeah, there shouldn't be any problems. When there was something like what was it? I think it was last month, right? We had something with an apostrophe, or there could have been an apostrophe in it. So I actually have the ability to put multiple phrases in. So I put a version with the apostrophe in and a version without the apostrophe in. So that way, you know, in case it takes care of it. Um, but
That is the crux of the biscuit.
yeah. Mm, mm.
Oh no, N Darkwood actually asked Frank Zappa. You mean as in who is he? Please don't say you don't know that. And if you truly don't, I highly encourage you to look him up and listen. Give a good listen.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Um,
Oh, by the way, yeah, you were talking about Rift Plains of Talara
yeah,
uh,
oh, that was it. Okay,
from Tryon, yeah, Redwood Shores.
gotcha. Yeah, it's I remember that they were back when like we were doing ESO stuff. There was discussions that Rift was really nasty, but no telling if it's good or bad now. You know, those things shift. You know, communities shift. Their personalities as a whole will shift around. So, um,
I played it for a while. Yeah, that had it was interesting, but it did have a very kind of virulent sort of PvP sort of thing going on where people just love to just ruin the day of everybody else in the game that wasn't in a kind of a large
oh,
scale.
hold on a second. I've been having the editor. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. Man, I'm noticing our video is like way out of sync.
Yeah, that depends on latency and stuff. With Twitch. Sometimes it'll only be a few seconds off, and it could be up to 30 seconds off. So I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to it. I think it's just a jitter slash latency thing when they do the
Uh,
multicast. So
oh, so where are we at with the pricing? Are we
yep, we
wait?
are ready. That's why I switched over to the game because I realized I'm sitting here staring at the editor and I'm not really on live there. So okay, yep, we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the run the prizes now. And we
And
still have a bunch of stuff to talk about too.
that'll appear for us under Mattermost.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll go into the live
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 stream
stream
thing.
channel. Yep.
Excellent.
This one here. That. Doki. All right. So while we're waiting for that to run, um, we have right now Crowns of the Obsidians are 20% off on the website. So that's the cash shop. And sale items in the Crown store are 30% off. That's that 2 hour cycling uh, sale that goes on. That's all automatic. The game randomly picks stuff that's on sale. It puts 9 things on sale every 2 hours. Um, so right now, a city stone 5 story basement's on sale, and the original bubbling cauldron is on sale, and stuff along those lines. So, and you can see it says ends in an hour and 45 minutes. So, an hour 45 minutes, there'll be 9 different items that'll go on to sale. And that's all through October 6th. In addition, through October 6th, player-owned town or pot upgrades paid with Kodos are 20% off. So there's two ways that you could do upgrades. Well, if you buy a pot, if you get a pot from the start, if you purchase one on the website, that has to be purchased via cash on the website. We don't have a way to give it to you otherwise. Then from there, you have two paths that you could take. One is that on the website, you could actually go and pay the difference between that POT level and the next level up to make it a larger POT, and that will upgrade you. Or you could pay for the upgrade via Kodos, so Crowns of the Obsidians. And there's benefits there because some players put Crowns of the Obsidians on their player vendors, and if you play the game enough and you have enough gold, you can you go buy the crowns for gold, so it's kind of like an exchange, and then you get so now you have crowns, and of course the cost of these things are a little bit higher than $5, but so you could end up reducing the actual out-of-pocket expenses for that by collecting crowns of Obsidians in the game, either from other players or by actually adventuring, mining, and things like that will drop crowns. Then, of course, you could buy the crowns, and when the crowns are on sale, they're 20% off. Then the POC upgrades paid with crowns at 20% off is basically 40% off the upgrade price. So if I got my numbering right, not a math professor. So we do have this. Actually, one of the topics I want to talk about. Did that thing ping?
Did what?
Did anything show up in live streams?
Yes, I see
Oh, okay, I
one
see.
set. We're just doing one set, right?
No, one more. The first
Oh,
hour
one
we
more.
do two, yeah.
Oh, I see. I
So
see.
I didn't hear it bing, so
Yeah, I only see one right now, but we'll wait for another one in a second.
yep, I'm just hit the button for the second one. We have a chart that Hemnu had recently asked about it. I mean, this has been an ongoing thing that the chart was apparently in question as to whether or not it was accurate or not. So I went through it. I did find an error, but it was like at the very top level, and it would have been not very obvious if somebody tried to upgrade because they had the same price for the next level down for that particular size town. So it was not too much of an issue. But all the data has been validated. Reworking the chart just a little bit, and I will be putting that up on the website where the POT section is. So let's give out the prizes, and then I'm going to show you some stuff on the website. I actually have this at the bottom of my list, but I think the flow makes more sense if I show you guys what I'm talking about there. So, all right,
Okay.
so where are we now?
The second one popped up, and let me know if you want to say the name of the prize or the character's name.
Okay, so give me a second. I just need to find where the live streams channel is. Okay, got it. All right, yeah. All right, well, on the first round, because I'm sure we're going to end up doing another round of prizes, I'll do the names, the character names on the second round.
Okay.
That's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
So the first prize is a haunted Halloween doll.
And that goes to Effect Dethartus, as well as Dabs.
Cool. All right, and I'm putting them up on the screen as we talk about them. The next one is the Purple Potion Cauldron.
That one will go to both Sunny Moon, as well as Henry Fletcher.
Excellent, excellent. Then we have a Witch Hat.
The Witch Hat will go to Quimiko Lightbringer, as well as to Jamie, or Jamie, depending on how you pronounce it.
Then the Witch's Fireplace Dungeon Entrance set.
That set, with all of its pieces, will go to both Satanica Deville, as well as to Arya Bloodmoon.
Yeah. Two very appropriate character names for that fireplace.
Yes.
And the last and final prize is a Cobalt 3-story tower village home.
That will go to
Let's go.
Glorious von Heldenberg, as well as Kendra Sadler.
Excellent. Congratulations to everybody who's won a prize.
Yes,
Uh,
congratulations, everyone.
those prizes will be distributed by Laney, and usually they go out within, well, I mean, I don't want to make promises for her, but usually she does them like over the weekend or early in the week. But I don't know what her schedule is like right now, so could take a few days for them to get out. So I would expect them, to be delivered sometime during the week, if not sooner. Okay, so let me show because I've actually been working on some stuff. Uh,
I like those big frog pets. Those are cool. I like how they're called pups, though. It's like, man, if that's a pup.
That's cute. That might be a custom name, I think, for the for the frog.
Frog pup.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's the name that the player gave it.
oh,
So,
I see. Okay.
yep. Okay, so this is not. Oh, I see. It's here. Okay, that's why. All right, one moment, please. Okay, so here is what we got. Set this thing. So I've been working on. There's a FAQ page up on the website now. Um, if you just go to about and you go to FAQ, and it looks something like this. What I've now done, I reworked it. I built up because I'm big on options. I like to give people multiple ways of doing things, so that way, whatever they're most comfortable with or used to, those methodologies would work. So in this situation, come on, menu, go away.
Whereas I like shattering dreams and destroying all hope.
Rebuild it there. Okay. So uh, the FAQ is good the way it was. It's not horrible or anything like that, but I think it could be made better, especially since I want to put a lot more stuff into it. So uh, this is not finished. It needs some visual updates. I want to put some kind of separator between the table of contents, as it were, which is really the questions, right? So the table of contents on the FAQ is like all the stuff where they say, "Oh, how do I do this?" or whatever, those types of things where people ask questions. And then below that will be the topics. So instead of just having like a 1 or 2 line answer on something like, how do I contact support? Well, the obvious thing is, try support at trytheavatar.com, but there's a little bit more that could be gone into with this. So this covers bugs, feedback, ask a dev, contacting support, because those are always questions that keep coming up. Uh, Very first thing is for account related issues, report or to report a possible game mechanic exploit or anything that's not listed below, then you go send an email to support. And then after that, each one of the items on things like gameplay questions, bugs, feedback, wish list, blah, 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 so on and so forth. This is not quite done yet. There's more that needs to be put in here. Um, this way you get an overview of what support does and what support doesn't do, and how to contact us and things like that. So you could get the simple answer, or you could go in a little bit deeper. Um, and then going to uh, um, guess to further show. So you could click on the question, like how do I contact support, or you could click on the actual topic, or you could type in here. And here I'm not going to do support. I'm going to go Steam. So if you type in Steam, You have a search box, tells you how many topics are found. It removes all the other topics that are up there. There's because I expect there's going to probably be like 50 in the long run. So it will dynamically only show you the topics that have the keyword you're looking for in them. Then, if you click on one of the keywords, of course, it'll also highlight all the occurrences of the word, and you'll be able to read the thing. Again, this is not final formatting, but um, and if you hit the clear button, it resets the whole thing back as well. So a little bit more that needs to be done. I'd like to put an option in there to actually turn off the highlighting, so that way, like in the case of Steam, where it's like every other word is Steam, it could get in the way. So I'll probably put something in there where you could click on something and disable the highlighting, so when you're in there, it's not annoying. That's also why I have the search bar down in the bottom, because most people always put the search bars up at top, and then when you scroll up, the search bar is still there, and it gets in the way of text. Um, so the point of this is that uh, you know what's funny, because this one doesn't have. Oh yeah, no, it's down here. All right, there, boom. All right. So I started working on the player-owned town one, because this is the thing, is that I finally got that chart sorted out. So I want to put the chart in here, and so for me to properly link this, this is all the text that I have not cleaned up yet. So just sorry, that's basically I went and took the forum post that Elgarian had made years ago, and I'm cleaning it up, fixing things that are wrong. Yes, there are things in there that are wrong, outdated information, all that, and formatting it hopefully in a pleasing manner. So I really want things to be more functional, where you could find what you're looking for, the verbiage makes sense, and that's where the colors and stuff come in as well. Um, so that way you'll be able to just, your eye can jump right to whatever it is that you're looking for. So I hope that works. So let me see. Rinaldi could have a line on that page that says, if you did not find what you're looking for, you can search SodaWiki. Yeah, sure. We could absolutely do that. Um, yeah, definitely. I have, in fact, I'm going to write that down. Where's my book? Oh, hold on a second. Let me write it down.
And it's funny to think that, a thing such as this, which feels like it's kind of has been cemented in place for a while, really still is a work in progress, because it just means that we haven't had the chance to really look back on it and update it in a while from the point it had been long ago. And we certainly need to do that with all this kind of stuff, because things have changed
Yeah, exactly.
and
Um,
things have gotten better.
yeah,
It's always good to be able to crow about that whenever we have the chance to do so, because uh, that's been our goal throughout this entire process, that just things are slowly getting more polished and better as we go. And as we've always said, a lot of the times this stuff is behind the scenes. Most games don't even talk about this kind of stuff, because they have a whole team, and that whole team is always set to be doing this stuff anyway. So it's, for them, it's kind of a daily basis thing. But with the kind of team we have, we don't we all of us are kind of limited on the amount of time we can give. So when we do go in and do these kind of changes, for us it's a big deal, because we do not have the kind of delicious overflow of time that companies owned by EA and other such things get to have.
yeah,
Our time is precious, 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 and it's spent on you guys. That's the important thing for you all to know. We really, really do spend our time for the sake of the experience that you guys get to have. You find folks are the only reason we're doing this. Other than, of course, us being personally inspired by the fact that you all enjoy playing.
yep.
I mean,
Uh,
we like to show off our stuff.
yeah, absolutely. And Rinaldi says that he's started updating the Soto Wiki a few months back, so he's taking it over from. Actually, I don't even know. I know Winfield was doing some stuff for a while, and
Hmm.
uh, Brown Coat Jason. Before that, I don't remember Rinaldi. Who was there somebody between Brown Coat and yourself doing it? Um, if you know, if not, not a problem. But that's entirely a community effort. The Soda Wiki is not hosted by us or owned by us or managed by us. I've updated stuff on it myself actually over the years, um, and and will continue to do so whenever the need arises or whatever. But yeah, lots of stuff there. And our facts will never replace SodaWiki. SodaWiki is a ton of information.
Oh yeah,
You could go up there and find out, what the components are for recipes and where to
yeah.
find the recipes and all that.
So many wonderful pieces of fan-driven information.
Gotcha.
One day I have to go. I hope to go in there and have a chance to really dig myself into any lore that I find in there, because over the years I've been in and out of the industry, whereas fans of the game and fans of the property and fans of the IP are in it all the time and in it to win it. And so, I'm sure I could learn a lot just looking in there myself.
Right, right. So Rinaldi updated here said that he's just kind of doing it on his own, not officially taking any part of it over or anything like that, which is commendable. I mean, the
Yeah,
wiki is complex, as the game is complex, and the wiki is definitely not very straightforward. So, anybody who's willing to do that, um, my hat's off to you. So.
yeah, totally.
So here's the player-owned towns page itself, where you go and look at the towns, and there's some information up here. Directs you to go to the player's guide and the account page if you have a pot already, if you want to upgrade it, things like that. This is pretty much, I think, the original verbiage that was on here, but I reformatted it, and I've added this picture, which you could click on to get a bigger picture, uh, um, which shows like this town that somebody's in it because the lights are on in one of the houses. I'm in first person mode on the overworld when I took this picture. I wanted to show what a pot looks like when it's an island, and then it's on land, and there's some other ones out in the distance and stuff like that. There's even, you can't really see it in here, but there's one that's being attacked um, by Kabbalists at this point. But uh, point is that this is already cleaned up a little bit, and this is published. But I'm still doing more work on it. That's not the right tab. Stop it. Windows pain in my butt. Oh, right, here it is. All right. So this one's not published yet because I don't want to publish this link to that fact that I just showed you until it's absolutely finished. But again, with the colors, I'm trying to draw your attention to it. Um, because like even putting it saying, oh yeah, there's a fact with more information. I'm not going to put that at the top, right? Because it doesn't make sense. You say your piece, and then you say for more information. So this will always be the last thing before the actual towns are listed. Um, but putting it up here in this, well, I think it's like sea green or something, uh, is different than anything else on the page. And if you did click this, if this was public, it would, as you see, goes right to. It doesn't even just send you to the fact and say, yeah, now go figure it out. It brings you and expands the topic. So, I mean, this isn't like rocket science, but uh, this this is what this is my work ethics at work. Basically, whenever I've written software, I've published software in the past, I've done a lot of software in the past, uh, I try to be in the shoes of somebody who doesn't know anything about that, or, again, keeping in mind that it's like if there was a like Control A versus going to a menu versus going and doing it another way. I want to make sure that people have all the different methodologies that they could do, things to make it as easy as possible. So Thank you very much, Daniel. um, as I say, I mean, I'm excited and I'm happy about this. The whole website needs this work done and cleaned up. This Even in the store, if I go to Game Surfaces, you'll see like this type of thing going on. And let me see if yeah, so some of these are really, really bad. Um, but what I did was I went in here and I started cleaning them up. Same way, I use multiple colors to get your attention in specific areas and make it so that way your mind, your brain can can separate things and segment them. In my color choices, I actually am trying to use color choices that are going to be visible against backgrounds, not look like they're glowing or it's just like if I put pure red against this background, it kind of like does this weird, at least in my eyes, it does this weird thing where I could read the words, but it kind of like doubles up on me and stuff. So um, sadly, there's only so many colors you could do where you would be able to be 100% effective for every person. But I think this is better than just having that big blob of white text that was, going around everything. Um, it makes it more compartmentalized, especially when you're looking at something like a player-owned, coincidentally, actually, player-owned town major work request, which uh, you could you could come in here and transfer ownership and change the biome name and everything all on this one uh, uh, voucher. So if this was all just blurted out white text as it was before, just like that other one, then you might not see or realize or know about all these different topics that are in here. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's Christ Palette. That's exactly what I was talking about. It looks like it's 3D. And so I try to get the muted tones. Almost always I end up going with pastels because they end up working. But luckily nowadays web colors. Remember back in the day, it was like there was a chart of like 16 or I think it was 16, right? Web safe colors.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Photoshop still has that chart in it, and it'll actually warn you, this is not a web safe color. So, um, but that doesn't really matter anymore. That was basically because of what people's monitors and their graphics cards, if they only had CGA monitors and things like that, VGA, uh,
Mm,
16 bits VGA monitors, and you're only able to get 256 colors out of it. So,
the old days.
yeah, the ancient days when we had to walk uphill both ways to turn on our computer. Um,
And I was trying to build things in Max on a Pentium 90.
ugh. Hey, you're already advanced being on a Pentium anything.
I
So,
was still using a DOS prompt to open Max.
so anyway, you guys get the idea. Yes, my age is showing. I know. Actually, it's funny. Um, the Portal area office in Austin when I first came down in 2017. Excuse me. Um,
Ooh,
Richard Richard had do you remember this guy? Richard had like um art up on the wall, right?
oh
For
yeah.
all the different games. And underneath each piece, he had like the person's like, I guess their birth date or when they were if they were born yet, when that was
Oh yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the
I don't
team
remember
members.
exactly how it was, but basically, if I had gotten on the team back then, I would have been the second oldest person. Richard was the oldest one. I would have been the next one down.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Um, anyway, so I won't go into any more of this because again, I consider this to be boring. There's a lot more work to do, and as you can see, I actually do well. Yeah, you can tell that from page, but from which I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to find that where I put that now. There's too many browsers open. Um, that I do the coding by hand. So uh, I actually my my editor of choice is is Notepad++, and for
I
HTML.
I even use the older Notepad, the one that isn't plus plus.
Ugh, that thing's
I don't
horrible.
trust the plus plus one.
Let me see
Uh,
something. Come
yeah,
here and go here and there. Yeah. So yeah. So it's got to go through there, and there's all the text that just needs to be converted. Right now it's in BB code, and I'm going to convert it over to HTML. So that's it. No big deal. Got some JavaScript in there at the end to handle all the special stuff that I just showed you guys. As I say, it doesn't take, it took like a day or two for me to go in there and do stuff, and because you were doing this, within our, a CRM website, so it's not like a page, a standalone web page. So I had to go in there and make things work within the environment we're in, and got all that working. So now all the feature set's done. I'm just going to populate the content and then make it all look prettier in some way, shape, or form, and implement. Since the POTs are on upgrades via Kodos are on sale this week. I'm going to try to get um, the chart just paste. I'll put like a paragraph up here and paste the chart up here. So somebody can click it just like click this and make it bigger. So that way the chart is up there. But even without the chart being present, all you have to do is send a question to support. Support@trytheavatar.com. If you're if you're not sure how many kodos it will take to upgrade your pot from the size you're at now to whatever size you want to go to, you could ask support, and we'll be happy to send you back a response there with the information. If you if you're worried about timing, once you contact support and say this is what I'm going to do, and I want to upgrade, then you're locked in for the sale thing. So obviously within reason, you can't wait until next month or something to do it. But so point is that like if the sale ends on Monday at the end of Monday or Tuesday, whatever the 6th is. I think it's Tuesday. Monday. Yeah, the end of Monday. Um, so if you contact support before the end of Monday, you could still go through and get the discounted rate if you do your pot upgrade on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, that type of thing. But you need to get it done, you know, within a couple of days or so of the sale ending, uh, and definitely reach out to support beforehand. Because again, Hemnu asked the question, and I think there was somebody else who asked the question in Discord. I do not want to post that chart in the forums at all because again, the forums don't get updated all the time, and that's where that chart was, and obviously there was some errors in it. So this way, I want to put the chart up on the website, and it will be an image, so that way it's not editable as it were. So you guaranteed accurate, and uh, but it'll there'll be references to it up here on the POTs. So I will try to get that up there as well. But in the meantime, if anybody has a question, just go ahead and send a note to support. Okay, so going back to the thing, we are almost at time for another prize drawing. So,
man, where's the time gone?
cool. Yeah, yeah, and it goes pretty quick when we have stuff to talk about. um, all right, now let me see. Go back down to the thing. So, all right. Of course, login reward this month is a single red balloon, which may or may not be a reference to a horror movie. Uh, actually, I don't think it was not intended to be a reference to a horror movie, but obviously, it kind of fits very well. And there's uh, we have more cluster balloons that's going into the store as well, and then the subscriber rewards. Let's see where. Oh, yeah, get back to the game. Go. All right. So the subscriber rewards this month are get them up in front of me again. There they are. Okay. All right. So yeah, we have a sunflower patch set, and that comes with like small, medium, and large clusters of sunflowers, and a fancy kitchen sink, which is a fancy kitchen sink version 2, uh, which I think is, oh, well, it's a sub reward. It's not in the store yet. So I'd like to show that one off too. So yes, this is another one where Allium did this. I had, oh, picture right here. Um, I guess yeah, I could do this. Why not? Um, so I had a hand in it only to make new mappings in the textures. Again, I'm actually utilizing the skills you taught me, Scotty.
Excellent.
Yeah. So now in this case, what I did here is the texture that we were using um, uh, was because of the way that as Scotty will attest to, the artists will maximize on the space that they're using, or I guess you could say that two different ways. They want to use minimal space, so they maximize on things. So basically, an area that is, let's say, white porcelain for the sink, the different faces of it, they'll actually put on top of each other in the actual texture on the graphic, which if you're going to change something and add patterns like this, doesn't work very well because then you get pieces of things in weird places and stuff. So I ended up having to make a new FBX out of this to get the remapped it and have a new so the new texture could go in, and then sent that back over to Allium. And the only real thing that I did was make sure that like those two round ones on the back of the sink were lined up where they, in theory should be, and all the components were there and everything. And I left the thing blank after that. So we kind of, I actually sent it in um, in 3ds Max. You could export the UVs as a PNG, and so you could get a UV map out of it. And which the idea came to me actually because when I was in the PSD file for the original uh, countertop sink for this, somebody had that in there. They had one of the layers was the UV map, so that way you could go in Photoshop and align things so they'll be where the mapping is. So I sent that over to her as well, and then she went and customized and put all the rest of the patterns on there and everything. Um, so I say it came out really nice. I like the granite or marble or granite. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Can't remember at this point, but it's
It could
stone.
almost be a porcelain with like a design. It could be a porcelain sink with a design on it.
Oh no no.
There,
Well, that the sink is porcelain. Yeah. It's I'm talking about the countertop itself. It's like
oh, the
a
countertop. Oh, I
yeah
can. Hard for me to see it. Sorry.
yeah.
Is
It's
it
it's
like
it's
a
like
beam marble?
it's a slate stone of some kind, slate colored stone.
Ah,
And I don't remember. It's I wrote the description for the store. I don't even remember what I said, but
hmm.
so let me see here. So we have here's the um, sunflower patches, and they get the sink, and they get these um, glyphs. These are I think they're called painted glyphs on this one. We have a set of glowing, I think it's pulsing and glowing glyphs in the store now, and then this set are they don't have the light aspect to it. Um, yeah. So um, yeah, there you go. And again, as I said before, even in the patch notes, there's information about the subscriptions down here, what the tiers are, and the stuff that you get, things along those lines. So, but of course, the going to the actual rewards program page will give you way more details on all that neat stuff. So, um, let me see here. So, spooky stuff. So, um, so trying to remember what my reference was there for that. Actually, spooky stuff that obviously this month's October, so Samhain and Halloween is the end of the month, and uh, the store, the Crown store reflects that. So basically, we're trying, and I think we are succeeding in uh, getting things into the game when they need to be into the game. So in years past, you would see where the Halloween stuff would be like released into the game a few days before Halloween. So uh, I think we did better this year for that, and we're trying to get into a pattern of behavior that we'll be having our stuff. Uh, the stuff that we're working on today is needed like 3 months from now. That's hopefully we'll get to a point where we have a good stock of things that haven't been given out yet for that purpose. Um, this is actually kind of a side note, but I think I should mention that it has been now noticed, and which I noticed it here as over like the last 3 or 4 weeks, but I didn't wasn't sure if it was something unique to my machine. But I've seen other players now confirm that loading times are faster. Um,
And that's good to hear.
Yeah, so it may not be consistent across the board because we're still going through everything. Textures are being updated, optimized, and all that stuff. And you guys are probably going to get bored of hearing me say this over and over again, but um, uh, I mean, we've now also, in addition, like with the houses, just the houses that we've completed, the optimizations on the meshes and the reduction on the number of meshes that we have to load and such is significant. In those specific scenes where there's a lot of those houses, you should see a lot less lag. I actually saw 20 more FPS on scenes that I knew had lower FPS for me. Um, and but I wasn't really looking to like claim anything, but now the players are actually saying that they're noticing it. So this is a great thing.
Oh,
And
heck yeah.
it's going to get better and better. Because we keep on going through this, finding more and more stuff to do. One of the things I had done recently, let me see if I yes, I do still have the pictures up here. So that one, I think that's actually in the release notes. This will be the first time Scotty's seeing this. I had not gotten a chance to share what I was doing here with Scotty. Um,
Oh, is
so
this new spaces you're working on?
yeah, well, what this is the Black Blade, um, the Black Blade something, whatever the name of that thing is, the dungeon for that area. They have a lava room in there. Well, it's mainly a lot. There's a lot of lava in there, but I ripped one of the sections out of that dungeon, made a player dungeon room out of it, And um, it's not as big as the large lava lake room, which is almost done, but is absolutely huge. Uh, but this is big as well. So, like in a normal player dungeon room, I would have maybe, I don't know, 8 different decoration surfaces that I have to make for it. You know, if I have to do like uh add the script to a mesh, or add the scripts to um box colliders and stuff like that, or quads, and put them in, because they're pretty standardized structures, you know, squares and rectangles or whatever, and not too much of an issue. In this case, historically even, it's hard to deco the caves. You know, we do have player dungeon rooms that are caves,
Oh, I
and
know. Yeah,
yeah,
those surfaces aren't conducive
no,
generally.
no, not at all.
Oh,
So
wait. Before we get into this, because
yeah,
I know you want to kind of do a dive into it. We should probably do the next uh, uh,
okay,
uh, awards,
sure, yep,
prizing.
yep, sounds good. Um,
I just want before we got too far into it, I wanted to let you know because it's already at the 6 o'clock hour, or at least for us.
right. Okay, yeah. So let me just go back to the game screen again, and
Sorry to interrupt, but I figure we
no, no,
better.
no. It's always appreciated. Yeah, so the last entry was at 9 minutes ago. No, about 5 minutes ago. So yeah, so I got 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes. If you have not said the phrase yet in game, please say the phrase in game, or purchase something on the website. Oh, which actually I am going to do for that too. See, it's like just too many things on my screen. Um, so if you want another thing that Allium has created and we put into the store on the website is, need to figure out where I am. Oh, there. In the Make a Difference store. For those of you who don't know, I'm trying to make this more visible. I'm going to try to do something where we could add it um, into the crown store in the game to show you what's there. Make a Difference items will always be cash purchases. You cannot buy these with crowns. They're not sold in the game. They're sold on our website, and the 20% of the proceeds from these will go to the various charities. So we have a nature charity, and then there's like water.org for the water charities, so on and so forth. We have added, that's what the little one is up here, saying that there's something new in that tab. We have a new breast cancer research foundation mug, and I'm trying to figure out where the hell that is. Why is it not showing in my screen? Um, it's got to be here soon. People bought it. I'm just being blind, maybe.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I am. All right, there it is. Yep. So it's one another. We have basically we have a set of glowing mugs. We have a water.org glowing mug. There's another one I think for the nature glowing mug. So this is a breast cancer awareness glowing mug, and you could buy that on the cash shop. They go for $15, and that also would put you into the pricing thing. So. Um, okay, so the new bundles we're talking about the houses then, I think. Is that correct, Hemdu? Because I definitely have other stuff I want to do too, but yep, okay, good. All right. Yeah, where we are now on the houses, we have the repaired houses, which will go up there. Well, no, the the repaired houses that exist in the game today will not go up on the site because they're already in the Crown Store, and they're already in the game, you know, all over the place. So the new footprints for those houses. So we have the three red roof ones, the three golden roof ones, and then Scotty is actually working on the thatch roofed ones as well. And there'll be new floor plans for those.
Yeah.
So the ones that have the new floor plans of the red and the gold roofs will be in one set. I still playing around with this like classic houses or something along those lines. So it'll be one thing where you could go. It'll be a price, and you all the row houses would be in there, and then when you make the purchase, you'll get a pick one bag, and then you'll be able to pick any one of the row houses that you want. So I'm not going to make the row houses, these houses in that bundle. Again, it's not really technically a bundle because it's one thing. Um, so verbiage wise, because internally in the game, it's called a bundle because of the delivery. Um, but it'll be a price for that set of houses, and then you get to choose whichever one you want out of it. So this way, we don't have to have thousands of store listings because when we're done with this, we should have a ton of stuff up there. And and then the new houses, like the thatched row houses and any other versions that we make, would be those are completely new houses. Those will be up there, and in the same situation, they'll have a pick one bag where you can go up there, select which one choose which one you want, buy it, and then you get the bag delivered to you, and then you choose which house it is that actually goes into your inventory. And that'll be the methodology moving forward. That each house size row, village, town, city, etc., will have basically two entries in the store. Pre-existing houses that we have new floor plans for internal, and new houses completely. And the floor plans I think will be shared between the new and the old houses, right? The new choices.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the idea. Is the new choices will have the same, I guess three or four. If I forget how many right now, I have to look at the JIRA again. Basic floor plan versions that offer the a similar look to the old stock visual style, but will have different stuff on the inside that takes more advantage of the space that I've saved.
right. Yeah. And if you guys have watched any of our work streams, it definitely takes a long time to get this stuff done. And we have found thousands, and I'm not even this day. You just say, "Oh yeah, there's thousands of problems." We found thousands of things that needed to
My
be fixed.
God,
So
yeah.
yeah, and the houses that, and that's, I mean, this is significant. I said it back then, even as we were starting to work on it, I could see that this was going to be a huge improvement. But now having done those things, and seeing if you watch the work streams, the amount of stuff we got rid of out of those houses, and the standardizations that we've now come up with. So when we make new houses, we now have a new production methodology for these things, which will um, uh, even beyond the house drawing itself in the game. Beyond that, uh, they'll be the decorations will actually be able to stick to the walls and not be floating, and with less CPU calculation, less draw. All this stuff is going to be better. The LODs are going to be standardized, so distances away, things will change more consistently, and decorations are being culled out when there's no chance in hell you can see them. So all this is going to improve the game. So uh, I,
Big
I
time.
as I said, just going back to that, is that seeing the players actually say that they're noticing it is thrilling, because I didn't think that we were anywhere near really the point where it would start to become visible. Um,
Well, we hadn't had a chance to really test it yet.
yeah,
We've just been implementing fixes as we go, but we haven't really had the time to do any exhaustive testing on the parameters based on like it loading in the new assets that have been, I almost said marginalized, that have been optimized.
right, right.
Yeah. So that's where we're at right now. That's what we're trying to do.
Yep. Yeah. And again, there's some of the stuff is basically as I touch a thing, whatever it is, then um, I make it part of that process to go through and look at the textures and the LOD setups for that thing. And I'll take the extra time, which is in some cases, depending on what it is, can actually um, add another day or two to whatever it is I'm working on, but it's worth it. Um, so right now, that's pretty much where it is. It's not ad hoc per se, but as we touch a thing in the game, we're fixing a thing in the game, and we should be able to get to a point where we're going to actually say, okay, now we're sweeping through this, now we're sweeping through that, and that should make things even more so. Um, and that'll be like, one of the things I touched recently, actually, if you guys read the notes, um, and I have to apologize because I think it was Forest. Um, it's one of the PRT templates, which is really like Forest 1 or Forest 2. And I went in there and fixed up textures. There was a whole bunch of stuff that textures weren't doing that they should have been doing. They were missing files, meaning the again, I'm going to use the real terms so that way you guys will spin up on it. But the normal the normal for a texture is also called a bump map in the past, and even now normals aren't even used anymore. They've switched over to height maps and things along those lines.
Yeah.
But um,
But we're still using it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, and we have height maps as well. So as to say, we have a mixture in the game. So like you guys are all standing on this, we'll call this what, fieldstone or cobblestone area here. You see, as I move around, and it doesn't really look that well. I mean, it's okay, but it's not that impressive, right? It doesn't. The stones don't look as realistic as I think they probably could, and the stones don't stand up a little bit, right? So it looks like it's a drawing, is what I'm trying to say. So there's a couple of problems there. One is that in an effort to improve the performance of the game, the past teams would go in there and uh, they compressed and lowered the quality of the image, which I was able to determine that we could have full quality on the image and still uh, have an optimize it so it takes up less disk space and memory, but still give you a better image in the end. That plus, so anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that the templates that I was working on, the scenes I was looking at, the terrains that I was playing with, they didn't have normals on them. They didn't have height maps on them, and they are PBR. PBR is realistic. It's supposed to like look like real. Um,
yeah, physical based rendering.
yeah. So, uh, most of the, well, no, I can't say most. One of the textures had, the image, and it had a normal map, like normal, uh, and that's fine. Um, and then others didn't even have normals; they just had the texture in there. They didn't have anything. But height maps were missing on all these things, and this was using a PBR shader. So these things should have been more advanced. These scenes should have been more beautiful than I'm sure you guys think that all our scenes are beautiful, but these things should have been incredible. So here, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to fly over and I'm just going to a random spot. This is, outside of what we call the player domain. And so it's just the plain, grass areas so that we have a background thing. So even as I look at this now, you can see there's a little bit of blurriness to it, which means that this particular texture is not completely where it should be. But um, and this is one of the problems. Once I fix things, it's hard to say, yeah, you know how this was all whatever before, but this is one of the more common textures for grass that you guys will have seen, and you see how it looks in the distance here, like it's just splotchy and blurry and splotchy. That's what you guys had seen. this is one of the textures that I've been working on. Um, so the fact that I can look down at this, even though it's blurry, that I can actually see leaves and blades of grass is new. We did not have that before. This
Yeah.
was just a big blurry mess.
And it's
So
hard to say, like he said, remember how crappy it was before?
yeah, exactly.
Because it's hard to show it. It's hard to really show it, you know.
Right, right. And this is the thing. I mean, even if I want to actually do side-by-side comparisons of our performance, I actually have to put up another server here at the house because, you know, we're making changes and all that stuff, but we don't have any server anywhere that's just laying around that we've frozen, you know, in time where I could go back and see, wow, look at how better this looks now. And so I try to take screenshots when I think about it. And one of the things that I tend to do is I forget to do the work in progress type of thing. Is like I'll be halfway through it and say, oh crap, I didn't do a before picture, you know. So
Right.
um,
Yeah, and I'll do that all the time because I just want to fix things and get it done, you know.
yeah, so I want
I
to go Raymar, and we didn't do we have to do the prizes.
Yes, we didn't do it yet.
Okay, I'll be back, guys, but I'm heading over to Braemar because I want to show off some of the other textures I've been doing, and it'll be a lot more impressive than that grass mess that I just showed you. Okay, so pricing,
And you got to forgive us. It's so easier for us to blah blah as we kind of show the stuff that we're doing.
yeah,
You know, because there's a lot to talk about, and there was a lot for us to consider as we went through the process of kind of making these things nicer or just repairing their functionality. Again, it's just you're looking under the hood, you're looking behind the scenes, and you're not even seeing the stuff I'm working on right now in the background.
yeah, yeah. Which obviously, if you want to share at some point, it's
Sure.
up to
Well,
you. Because if it's too early, don't feel you
no,
have
no,
to.
it's not too early. I'm in the middle of the very first uh, doll display box, the Gothic one, the one that's like Gothic and dark and
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know why, but every time I go into a scene, it starts raining. Um,
yeah, me too.
so I'm going to it. All right, so here, you tell me, okay? I'm not even going to say anything. So I want to see comments in the chat. This texture has been in the game all along. Does anybody recognize it? That's my big question. Um, so
Is
this
this is this the tree curtain, the tree
no,
wall?
no, no, no. The tree curtain is better, but it's not perfect yet. There's still something weird going on there.
It was so dark it was hard to see what you're looking at for me.
Yeah. Oh, right now you mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Looking down at the ground, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm looking at down at the ground. This is called forest floor. And it has like a number on it or something, but which of course you guys wouldn't know about that. But basically, if you go into any of the POT scenes, the PRT, I mean, this is a common texture uh, um, between the grass, and you see this see that this is the one with the leaves in it. You couldn't see the leaves before.
Oh yeah, you couldn't really see any of the details. It just looked like spinach with crap in it.
Yeah, and it had this fog. It was like you took plexiglass and used Brillo on it.
Yeah,
You know
there's
what
a
I mean?
strange
So it
blurriness.
got all
Yeah.
foggy, and so I got rid of all that, and now you can see that there's moss in here and leaves and
Oh
old
yeah.
sticks. Um,
Yeah,
I,
it's far more
yeah,
vibrant from the standpoint of like looking like a real thing. Oh,
right.
wait a minute. By the way, how did we get on? Not to derail what you're talking about. How do we get to on this from the dungeon thing you were showing us before I went? Oh shoot, we better give the prizes away.
I don't know. I got distracted. Whatever. ADHD. It's a wonderful thing. And I'll just say one more thing here is that this here you could see again. This is PBR. This is PBR in action. This is what the game should look like everywhere. Okay,
Right, right.
and I can't implement full PBR on all of our scenes until we optimize and get our LODs under control. I did this one because I was working on something else related to it, so I figured I'd fix this because it's optimized as well. So these textures now cost less to render and display than they did when they were blurry. As a PBR texture, you could see here where this tuft of grass is higher, and there's a rock here. Um, it- these are actually height mapped. So not only do we have a bump map that gives it some 3D aspect of it. Basically, the bump map or the normal map gives you shadows. So wherever you see these dark areas, that's the normal map in action, giving you a shadow so that your mind says that there's some 3D going on there.
Yeah,
Um,
you're getting the light effect of 3D, whereas the PBR and the height map literally renders the pixels in order of the height we should be seeing from our camera view, creating the false illusion of visual 3D texture objects built into the actual. So like a stick would stick up from a pebble, which would be underneath a little piece of foliage, let's say, and it is the pixels themselves are literally raised up and rendered based on this falsehood of an understanding of the 3D height map, which is
right.
amazing. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And what and just to say it is actually modifying the mesh on the fly during runtime.
Which is
So
kind of insane.
it is. It's absolutely nuts, and it could do it in such a way where it doesn't take 3 days for you to load your zone.
Right.
At this angle here, where I move the camera, you could see the height now. Well, I'm using my hand to show you, but you could see where it's raised it up and
Yeah.
stuff. And like you said, like here, you can see it's almost like in strips, which is obviously not the greatest look for this angle. But as I move around, it becomes more, you know, so the can it's actually dynamically doing stuff.
Yes. And whoever created it actually created the height maps correctly, to make it happen that way. I mean, there's a lot of different uh, programs used to generate height
Yep.
maps, but whoever used this and made this did it for this purpose, and thank goodness we can use it for that purpose. I mean,
Yeah.
if I knew what I was doing better, I'd be able to make better height maps, let's say for the dungeon pieces, because we're not using necessarily the full width and breadth of the PBR capability for like dungeon map stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't need to physically add in literal brick objects sticking out of the wall to let you see it when you're going down the wall, sticking out at
Right.
a perpendicular to you. Whereas true good PBR shading, if it were made that way everywhere, wouldn't even require the extra geometry because it would literally stick out for the purposes of its rendering, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. And actually, I this texture, this particular texture, um, this one had a normal, but it didn't have anything else. I redid this texture myself, and then I made the height map for it.
Mm,
So, and that's with we have a new tool. So I made this with that new tool and everything. And I'm very happy with how that came out.
yeah,
Thanks, Malhari, for the cheer of 500 bits or yeah, it's bits, right? Yeah.
yeah. Thank
And hey, if you guys all start cheering, if you like what you see here, that'll kick off a hype train which will get you more prizes. Speaking of prizes, let's go hand out the prizes that we're 25 minutes overdue on.
you. Okay, good deal.
Okay, where is find all my stuff here. Okay, good. All right. Okay, it is your turn for prizes, and I read the name.
Oh, and good luck with some of these. The first prize is the haunted Halloween doll.
And 1 second before I read off the name, Lilybird is asking what we say in game, and that is going to be Octo. Man, I'm telling you, that suck. Um, go Octo Berserk. So it's Geo space Octo, Octoberserk.
And
There you go.
Octoberserk is just all one string, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's go is go space and Octoberserk is one word. Yep.
Spelled Berserk or Berzerk, or how's it spelled?
Yeah, Serk.
Serk.
Yep.
Okay.
And folks, Lily got it into the universe, and yeah, there's a bunch of people putting it in the universe, and I've been monitoring to make sure everybody's doing it right, so it'll
Oh,
work.
good, good, good.
Okay, so let me get back down to the prices, and I wrote it up. So as you said, I think it was what
Oh
was
yes,
that again?
the haunted Halloween doll is the first prize, and it goes to
Goes to Klein,
excellent. The next prize is the purple potion cauldron.
and that goes to oh man.
I think it's Idicius Nomis.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. I just use
I think.
Nomus. All right,
The third prize goes is the witch hat.
and that goes to Rinaldi.
The fourth prize is the witch's fireplace dungeon entrance set for the hearth.
Right, that goes to Nefer the Hermit or the Hermite.
L'ermite. Then we have the Kobold, last but not least, the Kobold three-story tower village home.
And that goes to Rocco.
Congratulations, everyone. That's awesome.
Yay!
And we'll try to get to the prizes sooner next time.
Yep, yep. So we got another one coming up in about a half hour. So
Yeah. Congratulations to all winners. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention real quickly, way back to the beginning, uh, someone, I want to say it was, uh, gosh, who was it? It wasn't the cat dude. It was, uh, oh, Christ Pallet, I think, was talking about how it would be fun if we had a beach ball that had a big eyeball on it. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that too. And because that reminds me, that's actually very reminiscent of the old days in our office because we actually had a bunch of blow up beach ball eyeballs that
oh,
we threw around the office and were all over the place. And so that, to me, that brings back some maudlin feelings of the old days of the office when we were all in there together. So I might be able to figure out a way to get a cool kind of like creepy eyeball beach ball going if I can look back in there and figure out how I did it. I do know I had to jump through some crazy hoops to get the beach ball to work the way it did from a standpoint of that texture because it is mapped very weirdly on that thing to make it work because it's based on the old ball that I made, which was mapped strangely to make it function. So,
right.
but I think I can do it. I think I might be able to do it at some point.
So while I'm here, I'm slewing around right now to show off the mountains. I actually updated the mountain textures as well in this scene, which of course I'm sure these apply to a bunch of other scenes as well. But if you go close to I mean, these things are meant to be distant, so you can see right now, like if I'm right here, these things look great, you know. Um, for some reason, stone and fire always work out great in games. But if you get close, you can see they're still, blurry and whatever. But you see how there's a lot of darker aspects. I tweaked the normals on these things a little bit to give them more of a contrast.
Yeah,
And
nice. Nice.
yeah, and this came out really good. I also updated the trees. So in here, uh, look at those leaves. Look at those. Look at them. Look, Scotty. Look.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could not see the veins and the cool, stems coming in. I mean, this level of detail before we could not see. It was just blurry mess because we were going. We had to display them using much older paradigms, and man, can we get the detail out of it now? It really pleases me to see this.
Yeah. And by the way, see, like there's a tree that I have not touched yet. This,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that gives you an idea of how you know
Slow it down. There we
forgive my
go.
French,
All right.
piss poor.
Yep. See,
Some of the
that's what.
technical were.
Yeah, that's what those trees looked like before, guys.
Yeah,
And,
they were
and,
just
and get this.
blobs of bullshit.
you get that great detail with a smaller file size, less loading time,
And
less GPU memory used up.
for the game. Yep.
Yep. And this
I mean,
is,
that's our goal. I mean, and these changes make the whole world better. And I mean, to me, this is the difference. Being able to recognize and figure out these things to update the graphics is a are general fixes that bring this game out of the kind of older paradigm and into the more newer, better look for what current games should look like. And it's just been a way. Uh,
looks like I'm getting some internet issues.
we just didn't have the means to update these graphics back then like we do now, and to truly have the savings that we can get out of this stuff. I'm very excited to see the upgrade in every texture we can touch as we go. And of course, now as I'm building new stuff, I'm definitely going through the same process to make sure we get the most out of each texture that I'm using.
Yep.
Better than we could ever do it before, certainly.
Yeah, all of us who, I mean, Laney's is doing items. Obviously, Allium's doing items. I think Sanyo's the only one who's not doing items
Right, right,
right
yeah,
now. Well, I guess there's a couple of other, but the everybody's doing items now knows what our process is for the optimization, and that we're going through all that stuff. The one thing that's left, which we have documented, but it's not like a common skill across everybody, is the transparency stuff, like those windows.
yeah,
Once we get that going, we will be able to literally sweep through directories, folders, and redo all the textures. Because of course, one of the things is that we're not just going in there and saying, "Oh, here's a bunch of files, let's do them, okay," and hope for the best. As I change these things, I'm checking them right away because depending on the shader that's being used, uh, they could end up like the trees could end up looking like they're made out of metal and stuff. So you gotta go in there and make sure that you're touching stuff that properly, and that if there's tweaks or whatever to the materials and shaders, they have to be done. And the thing is, one of the big problems, of course, is that if you have an image, and I'm not talking like an item, like let's say that gift box right there, right? Um, uh, if you have an image in the game, like let's say that gore, the texture for the gore, um,
right.
if you didn't bring it into the game yourself, you don't really have an easy way to go find out where that texture is used right now.
That's right.
So if I make a change to something, like because like for instance, if that was a TGA file, I want it to be a PNG because PNGs are a lot smaller and they lose no quality. So granted they are classified as a lossy compression, but they're nowhere near lossy compression like JPEGs are. JPEGs, everybody knows JPEGs and how they get blocky and all that, right? And every time you save a JPEG, it gets worse. PNGs don't have that problem. And the optimization that we do basically removes extra data for colors that are not visible to the human eye, uh, meaning that they're either not used in the palette or they're actually literally not enough to make a difference to what you're seeing on the computer screen. Um,
Right.
and that significantly, I mean, like by 75%, that reduces the texture size down. Point being here is, though, that if I modify something and I change it from a TGA file to a PNG file, I have to go find all the things that use that and manually change that. Because it's not like I'm just renaming a file. I'm changing, I'm swapping it out for a different thing. And uh, um, inherently, uh, Portalarium didn't have anything in here to document where all their crap was. So
That's right.
I got a utility and I've been coding some reports. So between those two, we are going to be able to go in there and sort through everything in the game, And I will be able to look at an icon, and I'll tell you exactly all the different items that in the game that have that icon. I'll be able to tell what materials are used and what prefabs and so on and so forth, all that stuff. And then there's basically a big giant, a game asset map. And once we get that in place, then we will be able to start cleaning things up a lot quicker and significantly reduce the size of stuff. And this is the funny thing. Um, right now, the client download, um, I think the client uncompressed installed is somewhere around 30 some odd gig, like maybe 33 gig. Um, the download is about 13 and a half gig. And that's gone up, definitely because we're adding stuff into the game, so gets bigger and bigger. Um, all these optimizations bring that stuff back down as far as the size. We're still less than half as big as a AAA game like ESO. ESO's client, I think, is uh, breached 100 gig, if I remember correctly.
Ah,
But some of these bigger games, the bigger titles like that, are around 100 gig for their install, and ours is tiny, which of course was one of the primary goals back in the day, um, uh, from Portalarium to minimize that and all that type of stuff. But uh, based on the ever exponentially growing size of hard drives and availability of RAM and stuff like that, um, there's no reason to be so uh, what's the word when you don't want to spend money? Uh,
stingy or
Stingy.
spendthrift.
Yeah, that works. So yeah, there's no need to be so stingy. And so basically, what I'm doing is I am concentrating on optimizing uh, things like the textures, because the bigger the tech, like this you see, here's more grass. Actually, this is another texture that I updated, and you could now see that there's all different plants in here instead of it being this texture here is the one that's common around like almost every place where you have a house, um in like an NPC town or POTs. um this one and that other, like, uh, mashed over long hay looking grass. But anyway, obviously a lot better. So this texture, for instance, was well over 2 megs, and that's just one square that ends up getting repeated. So 2 megs of video RAM gets used, and of course there's CPU time to load it into RAM, load time for the scene, all that applies. Uh, I optimize it, and it's lost again, I'm just gonna ramble off the number here. Somewhere between 60 and 80% of, well, no, I won't say 80, 60 and 70% of its size. Probably more practical, like 65%. So we're looking at something now that's probably either 700K, 500K, it could even be 200K. If I remember the name of this stupid texture, I would actually go look at it right now and tell you exactly what it is, since I'm in the editor. But I don't remember. So we'll just go with this, because I've seen the numbers and I know what the numbers are going down. Point is that that's the thing. If all the textures are optimized, then not only are you using up less graphical memory, but you're loading them into the GPU a lot quicker. So that's where all that's. And again, you guys are noticing it, so I'm pleased with that. So of course I came in here for something too, but I know I digressed on the dungeon stuff. I'm still going to go back to that. I wanted to show something else. So thanks, Mal. Mal is like trying to get a hype train going.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's awesome. And uh, thank you earlier. There's another. Um,
Mandalore?
yes, another wonderful person who did that for
Yes.
us too. So yeah, thank you so much, Malhari
Yep.
and Mandalore.
Yeah, we need to get those hype trains going more. It's you know, not just this stream, but like all streams. You know, got to get them going. This is actually good stuff. And obviously, we want to give out more prizes. Um, can't get yelled at if I have a hype train. Geez, man, I really wish I remembered what that was. I was gonna load another scene. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go in here, um, and I'm gonna load Bramer here. That was the scene I was looking at before in game. Did I spell it right? Isn't it? I know. Say an AR, right? Yeah. All right. Don't save that. Go away. All right, that's gonna take a little bit because it's got to kill the game session I had running and everything. So, but it was because you spoke of the tree curtains, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah. So I wanted to show what they look like in my editor, and we're just trying to figure out why they don't look like this in the game. I think it's a shader problem. I might be able to fix this pretty easily, but got to do um, uh, do the research for it. So I'm just waiting for this thing to catch back up. Decoration Station is the sexiest named place in the game. Well, I can't take credit for that. I don't know who named it that. Maybe do you think it was Serafina?
I don't know. Maybe it's been that called that way forever. I don't remember now. Decoration Station. Choo choo.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's actually a lot of test scenes that we don't really use anymore. Some of them, we might want to decommission some of those.
Perhaps at some point, yeah.
Yeah. Or we could actually just really, literally hijack them, reuse them. Um, but down the road stuff.
Right.
Definitely next year. Or did you notice this, guys? Do you see this? I don't know if you could see it as I get closer to the trees. That's the LODs on the trees as I go away. Um, which I did some work there too. Some of the trees did not have their LODs set up. Okay, so let me see. I need to know where the sun is. Yeah, there. And okay, yeah. It's already just like floating around in here. You can see that it's different. Trying to see where I could get the right. I think I had to change the time in here. I could probably play the game too to do it, but um,
What are
the
you trying
tr
to show them?
the tree curtains.
Oh,
So because in
okay.
the editor, um, I'm gonna walk around a little bit here and see if we can find the right angle. The sun is up there, so it should have been on this side. When the sun is shining towards the tree curtain, you see how it's like so dark here. Um, Yeah, ignore the word north though. Uh, so for the most part, when you guys begin now, I'm going to step back here and say I'm assuming you guys know what a tree curtain is. So basically, if you go to places like Tanglemire, obviously Braemar, there's a whole bunch of scenes in the game where instead of having situations where the decorations are set up so that way you're walking to leave the scene, you walk through like a forest, and then it looks like there's more forest ahead of you in hills and mountains or whatever. The scenes are meant to be in places that are like, let's say, all swamps or grasslands or whatever. So um, oh, cool. Castellatos buff is at powerful. So
Oh,
um,
nice.
I guess that's one more level from there, right, to maximum. Um, the uh, so in those scenes to kind of cheat and make it so we only have to decorate the player domain, not the area that's outside of where the player should be. Um, they put in these tree curtains, which are multi-layered. They're actually like kind of like a few layers of two-dimensional textures. And I think Scotty actually may have made them, right?
Yeah, I made them long ago, or at least I came up with the idea of the tree curtains, and then for Ultima 9, because we needed a way to make it look like the forest continued beyond, but really wasn't that deep for the purposes of our art. We couldn't afford polys to show a forest going on forever. So we wanted to create the illusion of it. So very stage magic-y, right? Because, a lot of these things are meant to be very stagey. A lot of our items are bigger than they should be. It's all about stage prop work. Well, the tree curtains literally were that. So they were made to look like you had multiple levels of trees kind of disappearing deeper into a darker forest. And that's why we made these objects to fool the eye as best as we could. I mean, we knew it. There was no way it was going to truly fool the eye. But as long as it gave you the idea of it, then, people understood that, oh, yeah, you're not supposed to think that you can actually walk back into that forest, but it looks like
Mhm.
there's something there.
Right. So here, I'm outside of the player domain right now. So basically, I'm on the other side of the tree curtain. And based on the way the tree curtain's made, you could see that it's accepting light, so you could see the image as it is. This image is actually, if you're on the other side, technically you're looking through it, right through it, so you see this image as well. Um, so this is pretty much flat, and there are some. Um, Depending on where you are, you'll be able to see that there are layers to this, that there's multiple copies of this flat thing, right? But but you can see how the trees are more clearer in the foreground, and then they start getting that Gaussian blur deeper you go, and you see how it's like literally like you could look and you see, well, yeah, there's a forest there, and I could see trees that are probably about 50 feet away, or whatever, that type of thing. So when you look at it on this side, when they're lit properly, that's exactly what you should be seeing here. So, like there are still physical trees in front of it, but then when you see where I go with this black line, that's part of the multi layers of of course, I'm not in the game, so I'm able to cut through everything. Um, so that type of thing, where you see the multi layers. So this currently is too dark because the sun is not in the right spot. I'm gonna actually hit the play button and see if I can get that up. While I'm waiting for that to come up, I'll go on to another thing and I'll come back to this. But in the editor, I have pictures someplace. It might be easier just to show you the screenshots if I could find it. Is it in the art channel? I don't remember where I put that. Scrolling back through all the stuff we don't want them to see, and um,
Of which, there are many things.
yeah, there's a lot actually, stuff that's not available to the players yet. No, that goes too far back. I don't remember where that was. Okay, jump to this. Now, again, this is another thing that Allium was working on. And so I take no credit for this. All I did was I optimized the image, I think, in the end. Possibly. I don't even remember. Let me see. Is this yeah. So here again, this is not bright because the sun is not in the right spot, but this is a screenshot I took after Allium did the work she did, and then after I um, basically eliminated the compression that made even these trees in the foreground blurry. So what I really worked on were the real individual trees, not the curtain itself. So now, um, careful here, but you could see, I mean, the bark on these trees are PBR bark now. I mean, the trees were never really bad, but the
but they were
uh,
never good either.
yeah, so and I said that these you can see this is the tree if in this corner over here. So I know it's a little dark, so sorry about that. But you can see this is one of the trees that I pointed out earlier where you can now see the veins on the leaves and everything. So that's why all these trees are perfect. They again less overhead but better quality. And then as you go deeper in, you get the actual tree curtain where you could see that there are multiple layers of blurriness and like right there where my mouse is, that's a fern that's actually lit by a god ray coming in the game. And this is why this is very hard to show off based on what we have right now. But you can see it over here that there's in the game when I took this screenshot, the sun was coming in and filtering through this, and it was picking up the light. So that's why you have like some of these other areas that are brighter. It's not just the texture that was, has like a brightness, painted into it or whatever. Some of this was actually VFX going on. The ferns are cleaner now. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
unbelievable. But in the actual live game right now, it doesn't look as good as. So we have to figure out what's going on there. The tree curtains themselves are still darker than they should be. Um, but
right.
when they are completely fixed, you'll see this type of an aspect right here where the light is. And of course, it'll depend on what scene it is. Because some of these tree curtains are kind of like um, they're not just straight lines. They're like they got some zigzagging stuff going and things like that. So that's going to greatly affect the way the lighting is working on those. So even after we do figure out what's making them look different in our editor versus the compiled game, um, we may still have to go back and um, either create some variants that have more lighting on them. So that way, like, because I'm thinking of things like, well, Tangle Mire's a bad example because that's already got a dark sky dome and stuff. But if we have any of those scenes, like I'm thinking of some that are down in the perennial coast, where there are definitely kind of like um, uh, the tree curtains are kind of like in boxes. It's kind of like a zigzag zipper shape. Um, any of those ones, like if the sun is coming across and hitting the faces of the boxes, the alcoves of them they're always going to be too dark. So there may be some other stuff that we might have to do to affect that.
Right.
So, but we're making a huge amount of progress on that. The tree curtains have always been on the back burner as being something. In fact, I know that Chris tried to fix them a couple of times. I can't even say how many people before that, but like after the catnip change, uh, they've been touched like two or three times, and every time it was like, "Yep, got them fixed," and we'd see pictures up on the forums. Because I remember even back in like 2017, 2018, it was a big deal then, and it said, "Yep, no, we got them working great now. It looks great." And I remember basically going in and thinking, because I know realize now that it depends on what scene I was in. So I'd be in a scene and go, "Oh yeah, look, they fixed it. It looks great now." And then we even thought it was like, "Oh, it must be different tree curtains or something." But it's like within a release or two, you're like, oh man, they're all black again. But it's not that they were really changing. It depends on where they were in the game that was making that happen because the light acceptance on them is not what it should be. So I
Right.
I
Right.
think it's a
And
shader.
and again, we did a lot of shader changes at one point with, because we updated. That's back in the PBR days, obviously. But when we were updating these shaders, there was, so many things across the board were affected. that I know that, because you all may remember, I know I do. At the time, artists, especially environment artists, were hard pressed to also produce so much content that going back in and fixing things that got broken because programmers wanted to implement new shaders and update that never got happen. And that's the sad part, is that Chris may have tried to fix it, another programmer may have tried to fix it, but it's probably going to really require an artist to go in and apply the old hairy eyeball to
Mhm.
how it's made, in case we have to jig a jag certain handles that the programmers may not have realized we had to shake.
Right, right.
So that's just how it goes. And so yeah, oh yeah, look at the spinach.
Yes, I found this is a variation of the forest floor. I only fixed one of them. So this one here, that's what you get for leaves. This is what's been in the game for 10 years.
Right.
And even this one is like, if I'm over here, you can see how it's all milky. That's what I wanted before. It's
Milk, yeah.
yeah, it's got this milky look to it. Um, and all blurry, all crap. You can't tell what the fuck's excuse me. You can't tell what's going on down there.
I'm
Once I get this, and there you go. There's your side by side comparison. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what we did. So, and obviously this needs to be fixed. You can see where the shader is trying to merge these together, and it's not doing a really great job of it. So there's a lot of other settings and things that need to be fixed too. But once this texture is fixed like this one is, then they'll blend together perfectly. So anyway, and of course I came in here again. It's raining. Stop the rain. I want to go. Hoping that I'll be able to get to the spot where the tree curtain works properly. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Isn't that
Oh,
beautiful?
nice. Yeah, see, there we go.
Yeah.
Because the idea is that the more we fix the textures, also especially like he mentioned, Stephen mentioned, when we're dealing with things that are much better versions of transparent textures, where you can look around the leaves. Our lighting model is meant to interact with the transparency edges effectively, so you'll get light playing through the properly crispy edged leaves, and light playing properly across 3D trunks that are also kind of been rebuilt and then pushed inward to make pseudo 3D trunks and 2D trunks that still have good lighting, so that it goes back into, again, it's playing with the idea that the forest is a lot deeper than it really is there, and it's inaccessible, because it's like, okay, that's too deep. I'd have to have a whole team of people with machetes to forge a path through that, which of course will never happen in our game.
Right, exactly. And yeah, it's just too thick to get through, and that way it's more immersive as far as that's concerned. Uh,
Yes.
save
Yeah, or
game.
at least fakely immersive. I mean, we're I made the kind of comparison the other day to the old matte paintings that were sort of in the background of, like the Wizard of Oz or whatever, that made the forest look like it went on forever, or the Munchkin Land went on forever with the crops growing in the distance, but it was all just fakery, painted to look that way in the and it never ever went that deep. But that is part of the trickery we're trying to achieve with most of the stuff.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that there are. Well, actually, because I'm in the editor, I could go check. I don't know where the hell I am though. Where's my camera? Hold on. Where's the sun? Okay, yeah. So I should be in this corner. I don't know why I'm not seeing me. I should be seeing me, but I don't see me. Um, so this is what I wanted to check here to see if see like there's no collision here. It's not like we have an invisible wall or whatever that's preventing you from walking behind this tree, that type of thing to get to about this area. And
Right.
you see how clear these things are. I mean, this is unbelievable. You know, it's comparison to what's actually I've ever seen in the game. This is what it was really intended to be. You
It really
know,
was.
and I
Yeah.
remember we didn't hold back. We gave the devs grief for that. Um, you know, for
Yeah.
the fact that those things didn't look good. Um,
Well, and at the time, there was only so much we could do about it, especially when the artist didn't know from one day to the next whether some programmer fix for a shader was going to mess everything up that we spent, 5 hours setting up earlier.
yeah, yeah.
Much less hoping that we could remember what we did to make it right the first time and then
Right.
therefore fix it in the new shader paradigm. Man, was it rough. And it still is. I mean, we're going back now with blinders on, trying to figure out why things look funky when we have no idea what was changed to make it look funky in the first place. But
Right.
we are coming along, so you can see how the effect of that is meant to be right there, hopefully,
Yep.
or at least what the original intention was to some extent.
Right. And you see, if I change the camera around here, you could see like that one stick there, right? Yeah, that thin one right there is that's really part of an image. So this is actually I'm running right against the wall. That is the tree wall right there. So that's the point. This is incredible compared to what it used to be. Is this is a 2D image.
Right.
Granted, I mean I this there's probably some space between me where it's not letting me walk up right up to the thing. But as I said, if I change my camera angle, you could see that this is actually a 2D image. And as I said, it is layered. There's multiple layers of them in there, so it's kind of like wafers, a few wafers. So that's why
It's
it looks that
wafer
way.
thin.
Yeah, it's wafer thin. It's just a thin mint. All right, we are due for more prizes.
Yes, and let me know when you want me to show off anything that I did, and I can start with just showing off some of the basic stuff that I did that's already going to be ready soon for people to enjoy, which are those podiums. But then I can also show the work I'm in mid-process on, and I almost have the thing that you need, Stephen, which is the proper space for the new case, the cases.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll give them a primer on what we're doing
But
for
prices
that
first.
and prizes. Yeah. So let me get this out of the way, and I gotta go back over to where the hell. All right. So again, anybody who hasn't said the phrase, you don't have to say it a second time. You're still entered in if you did it before. But if you haven't said a phrase, go ahead and get in the game. I'll give you a couple minutes. It's 8:50, 6:57. So at 7 p.m. on the nose, I will go ahead and run the script. And so we'll do a setup here. Well, actually, let me knock off this one here, because I was talking about this before, which goes along our optimizations and things. And um, I just need to get back over here to run this. Okay, good. Okay. So, um, and okay, so with the Black Blade Pass, I know there's one bug that I need to look at, which I was actually thinking I could do that on the stream here, to see what the hell's going on. Because when I tested this thing, I was able to walk around the pool without getting caught on fire. So I need to figure out what happened there. Maybe that version didn't get into the game or something. I don't know. Um, but or it's I'm hoping that it's not the case that the room has to be picked up and put back down again. That would be bad. I hope that's not the case. I say bad because um, that room has 4 connections, so it could be an integrated piece of somebody else's dungeon already, which means that they would have to kind of to fix that. They would have to pull it up, and other things might be dependent on that room, and so. But anyway, we'll take a look. We'll figure that out. So that room, we'll go over here, and so this one here. So this is the overall layout of the room, and basically, for any of you guys who watched my um, one of my work streams recently where I basically went and took this pond here, which is really a river, but and I extracted the mesh from it to make a, a basically a cup, right? Mesh, and my intention there was to use that for the lava damage, so that way it would be an exact um, footprint of where the lava is, and then I basically just shrink it down a little bit, and then say this is where the lava damage happens, um, and apply the script. Sadly, after all that work, I did all that stream work, and then got it going, and went to implement it, and found out that I could not make the collider, the mesh, into a trigger unless I made it convex, which makes it into a rectangle again. So it was all for, well, not all for nothing, because it led me to this, which I had in my mind, but now I got to practice. So um, I need to look at that and figure out if that's something that we can change in a script, where I can make an actual mesh trigger without having to have it be have the convex checkbox. Because if the convex checkbox is not checked, then the ability to turn it into a trigger is not checked. It's grayed out, so I can't do it. So I got to figure out if there's a reason that was done. And I got to look through the code and figure that out. But if I could fix that, then I could do a lot more fancy shit. So, but here's what we got. So I took same process I did on the work stream. I used a tool called the Mesh Combiner, and I basically took the entire Black Blade Pass lava room and combined it into one big three-dimensional mesh. Which the mesh combiner actually split it up where the tunnels were one mesh by itself, and then the main room was another mesh. I'm not really sure what its rule set is and why it did that, but I think I said it during the work stream. I suppose it's some complexity issues or something, but I'm not really sure. So anyway, I took all those meshes that it created, which is basically three or four meshes, and brought them into 3ds Max, and then I went on to do all this work here, where I went around all of the tunnels and the main room and selected just the polygons for the floors. All right, so this picture here is in the progress of it, where I basically highlighted all the whole tunnel, and then I went through and I deselected the polys that were on the walls and the ceiling, and then I did the same process for the walls, and I did the same process for the ceilings. So what you're looking at here are all the floors. This is one mesh that's all the floors, and all I have to do is apply the decoration script to this once, and we have one mesh that's loaded in that is now decoratable everywhere. So now, of course, game rules apply. So if you have something that requires a flatter area and
It might not
it's,
place.
yeah, it might not place.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's funny because as I was doing this, I was like, well, I guess down the road, if we need to flatten some areas, we can. I'm trying to zoom on this. There we go. So because you could see that's height. That's where these lines are doing these weird stuff. That's things where things are not flat. So where it's even where it's just a square like this, those also could be a little bit wavy, but there's more. It's more likely you'd be able to place things here. Smaller things will still be able to be placed, barrels maybe, whatever. But the larger, like I actually had a kobold um, gazebo that I was like trying to place in places, like didn't have very much luck with that. So basically what I'm getting to here is that it made me think of like the early days with the POTs, where there would be requests to flatten terrain here and there because they would want to use some ground and there wasn't enough ground for to get those things placed. So I could see where down the road, with the decoration surfaces here in this methodology, um, If it's a situation where it's definitely too rough to place a lot of stuff, then we could go in there and I could modify the decoration surface itself, this mesh, so that way it's not as bumpy. And you know, that's all depends on the scenario at the time. So as I said, I highlighted all this stuff, and as you say here, that's the floor highlighted red for all the tunnels. And then I was able to split that out in 3ds Max. I was able to combine things together, so I had the 3 different meshes, and then made an FBX for that specifically, and then applied it to the room, and then just had to shift things around a little bit so it matched up. And we now have decoratable space the um, in the dungeon room, where I don't have to go around and put specific quads and stuff all over the place, which takes a lot of performance.
Well, and it's not just the performance it takes, it is mind destroyingly difficult to go in there and try to figure out, is that flat enough to let me do a thing? No, no, it's because we have to place those in there by hand. When we have to do that kind of deco surface, it's by hand placement of every single surface we think will be okay, as opposed to just us saying, hey, use the mesh, and if the code lets you place it, then it lets you place it. Now, it may not be pretty, it may all not always be pretty, but it will let you place things sometimes that we wouldn't let you necessarily place if we were having to figure it out ourselves and put each deco surface in by hand.
Right.
Because we would basically often go, you know what? No, that's curved. Nope, they don't. No, nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
the code will let you try. It just may not be as pretty, but that's your fault at that point. If it's not pretty and you want to put it there anyway, that's kind of a your problem thing at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
not a. But we want to give as much freedom as we can without allowing too much ugliness, unless it's your own distinctly personal spaces.
So take a look at the this here. This is the white marble ballroom. It's one of the player dungeon rooms, and you see all these bright green lines. Those are mesh lines. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to decoration surface. This is the old way of doing it. Notice again, I know you probably can't read all that, right? But all this are all these different walls and things. So they would all have to be where that one is. I want to go do an example here, right? So editor on it. See, yeah. So there's the green line for that. So basically, this wall, it goes right through the pillars, and basically it's that wall from the archway over to the corner. That's one deco surface. Then I have to do actually to get up here, if I want you guys to actually have access to every single area, is a big rectangle there, and then little pieces to fill in around the curves,
For every area around the curve that we
right?
think it needs to be.
And if you think that's bad, here's the worst part about it. All right. This is manual. I have to get it close enough to the wall that things don't sink into the wall, go through the wall, and don't float. So if I put this decoration surface, what players know this. Basically, the decoration surface is most of them are uh, inset a little bit. So like this is an angle doing this, but you can see there's a thin green line here, and it's like it looks like it's an inch in from the marble wall. Of course, that's just really the camera angle doing that, but that's literally what you'll find in most of the places, like even in the old houses and things, where you put like a painting on the wall, and if you get your camera really close, you can see the painting is like that far away from the wall. So you know, this is time consuming, and like he said, it'll totally destroy your brain. Going
Yeah,
in here and trying to get things exactly where they should be, and make sure that they're actual. Because then we have to go and test it, make sure it's functional.
it destroys our brains and it makes us sad. Complete
So
that.
so instead of using that, why not use the wall itself? So that's where we're going now. Like say, it's like this room here, all these decos are going to be able to go away because if I go in um, into layout, so actually I should be able to just click on this there. So that's a wall section right there. And you see, even this, I'm not even sure why. I mean, I think this is because of modular stuff when the room was built. This way, it was like a wall section and two pillars or something, and they were able to just duplicate it and go bang, 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 make a wall. But when I look at this now, that piece there and that piece there should be one piece. There's no reason for these to be two pieces. So I will make that into one piece, and then all I have to do is add into this little section over here the decoration script, and that wall is now decoratable. And we've now saved the computational time of loading in those invisible things and the multiple scripts and all that stuff. So um, this is all what's coming. It's part of as I go through for the dungeon rooms as examples. So I'm using that here as an example. As I go through each dungeon room and fix the bugs, I am fixing all the LODs, and I will be fixing these decoration scripts as well to do that. So
Which is good. I mean,
yes,
it needed to be done, and we're slowly doing it.
yep.
Doing it.
So I will set up the scene here for Scotty. Um, and I think we are definitely over again. So I'm going to run the. Did I run the pricing already? I don't remember.
Let me look. I thought you did, but I don't know if you did or not. I
Yeah,
didn't double.
it would be the fourth one up there, I think, if it is. So, I suspect that I probably did not. Live streams. Yes, I did not. Okay, so
Oh,
I'm going
run
to.
it, damn you!
Yes, sir. All right, pricing manual run. Okay, good. All right, pricing's running. So here give that setup. So basically, um, we have a number of haunted dolls in the game. Uh, I think there's 7 in the game at this stage.
Right.
And
Wait, wait, wait. Podiums first.
well,
Did we already? Did we? I don't think we showed podiums to anybody.
no, because they're not. Yeah, we haven't decided how we were going to deliver them yet.
Oh, okay.
But we know what we're going to do with this. As I said, if you have something visual for these, because that's what
oh,
you're
I
working on
do.
now, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah, we could talk about the podiums too, but this is the one that because this is an upcoming and we have a plan for thing. So
Oh, okay.
um so we have several of these haunted dolls in the game, and uh basically um well, we're gonna add more, and there's gonna be some we'll just say unique ones coming shortly, um, that are really on the ultra side of cool. I wonder what that means. And so
Can I present, by the way, or should we give the pricings first?
we can do pricings first. Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
did
It
they come
hasn't
in?
generated yet.
Okay. Sometimes it doesn't. That's the thing. So let me just look, see what I got. Yeah, it didn't do it. All right, so I got to rerun it.
Sometimes.
So um, yeah, sometimes it just doesn't. I got to rewrite the damn script. Um, so
Damn it.
uh, yeah, Lich dolls. That's yeah. There's an idea. So I mean, this is like one of those things we were talking about, where you get to this time of the year, and it's like, oh my God, there's like a slew of crap we could do, but it's like we should have been thinking about this 6 months ago. So um, I got enough stuff where I could produce some things that will add to that collection in a very um, cool way, and as I said, something that would be ultra cool, if you get the hint. So that'll be coming soon, and uh, so the thing that came to mind was like, okay, what we could do is utilize the fish tank technology. And so we will be creating, or we are, Scotty is creating, um, uh, a couple of variations of, or three, I think three total variations of doll cases, display cases for the game. And one will be, um, uh, is it okay if I say it then, or do you want to say stuff?
Oh, introduce it from a standpoint of
Okay.
what you intend to do with them, and then I'll just talk about how I'm like building stuff.
Okay, all right, cool. All right. So all three of these display cases will go into the Crown Store, so they'll be available to everybody. The other dolls that I'm referencing, obviously, are going to be a limited edition scenario. There will be other dolls as well, but the ones that I'm thinking of specifically are limited edition. Then uh, there will
Are
be.
you showing anything, or should I show my screen as I'm working on this stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, did we? Let's do the prizes. Just
Ah,
um,
yes, they finally generated. Before I'll show my screen, we'll talk about prizes.
Okay, all right, good. So let me just finish this lead up and then we'll do that. So there'll be three variations on these things. Two of them will be uh, but one of them is going to be like a macabre, that's the terminology I'm using. So it's going to be more of a gothic aspect of the doll cabinet, and then there'll be a fancy doll cabinet. They're both technically fancy, just two different styles. Then there'll be a third cabinet that won't have the uh, fish tank tech, so that way players can place anything in there. But the two that have the fish tank tech, if you're familiar with the fish tanks, where you could place specific fish into the tank or specific decorations into the tank. So we have to pre-populate and we have to set them up for that. So these doll cabinets will be able to accept the dolls that are in the game and any new dolls that we do make going forward. This way, if somebody wants to have a doll collection or a museum or whatever, then those are specifically for that purpose. The third one, of course, you could place the dolls in there manually yourself and that type of thing, but that this it would be something where you could actually display other items that would fit in the cabinet. So it's one of those things on the third one. If it fits, it'll work, right? So, no, the dolls aren't going to swim around in the cabinet. Yeah, the
Like God,
yeah, at this moment, the plan is that uh, um, the cabinets with the dolls are hermetically sealed. So they're not even, at least at this moment, we're not planning on having a door that's going to open on the cabinet. So basically, you like the fish tank, you click on it, it'll come up with the slots for the items, and you'll be able to drop the dolls in there, and then of course one at a time, and then the doll will appear in the cabinet. So if any of the dolls, if any, because some of the dolls, some dolls we have interaction, where you click on it, you get a noise or an animation or both, and some don't. So um, when it's in the cabinet, you won't be able to interact with the doll. It's literally there as, like it's a collector's item type of deal. And then again, that's what we have for the moment. Down the road, we might make some changes there, but that's how I'm seeing it. I gotta look at some of that tech to see how sketchy it might be for players to interact with things that are in that socketed scenario. Then, as I said, the third cabinet, that one will have a door that will open, and it'll be the intention is the full face of the cabinet will be a door, so that it'll be glass, so it'll open all the way. In fact, the angle on the door script will be not just bring it to 90 degrees, but bring it a little bit further, so that way when you're decoing, nothing's getting in your way. And there's there's an additional feature to the cabinets, as Scotty will. I don't know how far along he is, but Scotty's going to show you what he's got. Um, Basically, will be glass on all four sides, right? Um,
right?
and But if you want to actually put the cabinets, let's say back to back, or in any scenario where you don't want people to be able to see through the back glass or the side glass, we are going to have craftable um, uh, uh, boards. I don't know what the word should be for that, but panels. That's it. Yeah, craftable panels that will be able to. They'll have um, like, well, I shouldn't say will. In this one, I have to figure out where I could do this and can't do this. But they'll either have a specific slot for them in like the fish tank script type of thing, or it'll be a situation where you could just go in there and place it as deco to cover the glass. But I suspect I might be able to do something with that. So we're going to set it all up so that way you'd be able to go in there and put a backing behind the doll. So depending on what doll or whatever you have in there. Yeah, exactly. It just like the scenes or ocean in the fish tanks, and the decorations and stuff. So and those will be craftable. So you'll be able to make varying types. Like right in my mind right now, I'm thinking like red velvet, black velvet, and then a wood paneling one, which would match the wood for the cabinet, right? So we could probably have a whole bunch of variations.
Well, and I'm going to share now, but first we should do because
Yeah,
now we're getting into stuff that I should probably show as we tell.
you're right. You're right. And it's pretty much at the end of I just wanted to get the concept across as to what we just actually just discussed it during one of the team meetings. So, all right. Okay. You want me to do characters again? We do characters again.
Sure.
That way we're flat out there.
Okay.
Thanks, Mel. How are you?
The haunted Halloween doll is the first prize once again, and it goes to.
Seal Astra.
The second prize is the purple potion cauldron.
And that goes to Chepri.
The third is the witch's hat.
That goes to Dabs-a-Lot.
And once again, we have the wonderful set of the fireplace witch's dungeon entrance.
And that's Proudfoot Underhill.
And last but not least, we have the kobold 3-story tower village home, and that goes to
Sunny Moon. Congratulations.
Yep, congratulations, everybody. Okay, so I'm going back now to my thing, and feel free to share it. I'm not sure if it's sharing with folks. I don't know if they can see what I'm doing here.
Yeah, it's let me make changes. That way that'll work. There we go. And we don't even need to see us, so we'll make it big, big, big so that they can see it.
Oh yeah, good.
All right.
So what we're looking at here is on the right. So I have my little good old farmer boots, which lets me see to make sure the size of this is proper. I brought in the FBX of the thing that we found that's in the deal, and we know where this is coming from. This is someone who's playing into the popularity these days of the of the Annabelle, the evil doll from Annabelle, and how it's displayed in that display case inside of the basement of that couple who researches and fights supernatural stuff that has been prominent. I think they passed away recently now. That whole collection was put up for sale, and recently it entered into the media again because the Annabelle doll was taken in its case and was moved around supposedly to show people overseas, and there were supposedly all these accidents that happened, and people had terrible accidents because of the curse of the Annabelle doll. But with that case, so much of the media, the idea of being like, oh, maybe we can present a case, but we didn't want to necessarily use what this person made because warning, keep it close. And it looks like something out of the 70s, which the actual Annabelle case is, and we could never use the Annabelle doll because of course the Annabelle doll looks like the trademarked Raggedy Ann doll. It is one of the old school trademarked Raggedy Ann dolls. They couldn't even use that for the film. So my friend who worked on that film actually created that prop and had to make it from scratch so that it looked like no other doll in the world that they could get sued for. So likewise, we can use stuff that's of course only off of the marketplace. So with this, which does not look like the one from the movie, we then use this as a basis for kind of the size we wanted. And so then I then took some of the existing kind of Gothic furniture stuff and I recrafted it entirely to be a case of a similar size. I haven't yet added, the glass in here. This glass is using a special shader, which is, in max lets you see the chair through it. Whatever glass we use will do the same thing, but it will do that in our game. And here you can see that same kind of Gothic thing. This definitely has a back and a front. The back is sort of less noteworthy in that it has this little thing back on here, and whereas this, and you see the two sides, and the back has its little bar inside of the window in the middle. The front does not, and this front door piece is meant to be able to be opened, so that when you open it, and I'm just going to make it disappear. Hide the selection real quickly. If you open it, you'll be able to look inside, and then you can either see through the glass on the back side, or here's the thing that Steve just talked about, which is this board that's here doesn't have to be there. That could be something that you could place in there or not. I guess if you drug it over it, and there might be a number of different backboards that we might have. So here I'll hide that. There we go. So then that would reveal just the glass behind it that you could look out of if you didn't want the backboard. But the plain backboard might have other things. We might offer other backboards later that have like little either different carvings on them or symbols that show off certain things, or a painted backdrop so that you might have something else in there, or a scary backdrop or something like that. Because eventually, in addition to what this looks like here, where for the doll cases, it'll have a thing in there that if you pull the doll over this object, then what you get out of that is you get a doll on either a stand or posed in a certain way so that it fits in there nicely, or whatever it is. But then we, in addition to like a fancy version plus a darker Gothic version, which right now I'm using the lighter wood just so I can see it in max. Otherwise, it'd be too dark to really see the details. But imagine though that we will eventually offer the third version, which is not a doll case, so it would not work in the same uh, 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 fish tank way, but instead would have a thing that if you reach down here, it would actually have a drawer that you could open. And when you open up the drawer and look inside of its container, then you can drag an object out of that and then place it inside of here by hand and have whatever you want to inside a more generic display case that's not meant for dolls. It's just meant for any general display case that you want to have. If you want to have your own museum of totems or objects or artifacts that go in this thing, then you could place those things in there by hand. But that one would not work like the fish tank. So it would be its own separate third type of display case that is not a doll display case, if you
Right.
get what I mean.
Let me inject something here. So, um, Malhari asked if they could be, if the size could be increased or decreased, and the answer to that would be no. I believe for the fish tank tech, I'm assuming the fish tanks can't be scaled. So if the fish tanks could be scaled, then these will be able to be scaled. But if the fish tanks can't be scaled, then they will not be able to. And I'm pretty sure that's the case because obviously coordinate-wise, we have to know where everything is to be able to place the doll in there. Because the doll itself, I don't think would scale with the thing. Yeah, so
Right.
yeah, they don't scale. So Lilybird confirmed they don't scale. So I was pretty sure about that. So now the third cabinet, and here's the key thing: if we do it, because the backboard idea of being able to put like the three other sides, giving you guys the options of being able to cover up the glass, depending on what tech we use, if any, to do that. Because we could literally just give you a board and then you could place it as if it's deco, um, like you're placing uh, whatever the thing is that you're going to put in the case. We could do it for that, but then that means you guys got to be able to fiddle with it to get it where you want it to be to cover up the glass,
Right.
instead of replacing the glass. If I use we could use Snap, which would also have just a for those areas would be a specific list of items that would be allowed to snap into those places, which would solve that problem as well. Again, it wouldn't replace the glass, but it would cover it up. Then the other is partially doing the fish tank tech, where there would only be 3 slots available on that, which would be the 3 walls, and then that way you could drop the boards in, and then it would literally replace the glass panels with the wood panels. So then that way it looks like the cabinet actually was made that way. And that would only affect those 3 sides, and then the area inside the cabinet would be perfectly usable. But if I do that, then you wouldn't be able to scale the display cabinet. That's about where we are right now with that one. So we still have to get past the creation phase for the objects and then start testing out the tech phase as far as what we think is the best for that.
Right.
So we could always, even if we do it this way for these, we could always make another cabinet later that literally just has like let's say a wood backing or something, and it has no tech on it at all. That could be shrunk um, and grown as well. And I mean, this opens up a bunch of stuff. You say, I mean, obviously, we have a few display cabinets in the game. Um, I don't think we have very many, but there's a few at least that aren't really like, furniture that's been repurposed. And this may open up a range of things where we could actually make half height versions and smaller versions and different aspects of things. Once we have the concept, then we obviously could run with it. But one thing at a time.
Right, right. I mean, and this is just, sort of a spitballing. Now, like, if for me, because I think it might be important for you all to want to scale the more the general one that you might use just to build your like display, museum or whatever. I would recommend that the backboard just stays in there. And then if you're going to build a museum where you like put them back to back, then you won't necessarily see the display from the case behind it turned the opposite direction. Uh, you know, uh, and if you put it up against a wall, whatever wall you put it up against doesn't fight with whatever you're trying to display in there. It's just a nice backing to it. But you'll still look through it through the sides in case it's freestanding somewhere, so that it's like so there's still an obvious back to it, but you know where to stand to like look at the display inside. That's what I'd recommend. That way you still get the freedom of sizing it or scaling it as you wish, unlike the doll case where you wouldn't be able to.
Right, right.
You know, but it would also have its little drawer down here that if you clicked on the drawer, then it would open up a separate inventory for whatever else you might want to display in there too. You could have a selection of items in there that like you change out every once in a while or whatever, all kept inside of its lovely little display case. But anyway, that's what these things are going to be. And I literally just put that together while we were having our live stream just now
Yep.
from scratch. I'll be doing the same thing once I get around to the other one. But first, I'm going to give this one to Steven so he can start playing with like doll poses and stuff like that inside. And because this is essentially what we're talking about, right,
Yep.
Steven? As far as what you
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bigger than the other one, but that's because it has more fancy stuff draped off of it. It's not like a 70s box. The
Hmm.
interior box is about almost the same, pretty close to the same size.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah, a little more square, I think. No, it's about a square. So yeah, about the same size, just with some extra fun stuff on the outside that makes it fit more into our game instead of something from the 70s.
Right.
I have a few things I'm fixing on it right now, but yeah, because like I just realized too, I built this from something that we already are using in the game, but whenever I can, if I have to rebuild something, I like to build it based on what uh, I've been told our design wants, which they want things that if they want to knock them over in a dungeon somewhere, you can see the bottom and you're not seeing up through it. Sadly, the thing that I made this from does not have a bottom that you were ever meant to see.
Ah.
So I'm now crafting a bottom. It's going to add some more polys, but it's not too many, just so that you can, just so that if it's ever tilted over, you're not looking up into, our fakery, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
If you know what I mean. And I'm
Yes.
also in the middle of trying to work on UV mapping it. So, I'm looking at that poly right there, and I can see there's weird scuff marks that were sort of built into it when whoever built this ran it through whatever filter they ran it, or whatever stuff they ran it through. So, in my particular case, I want to go in and remap it. And so that's just kind of what, now that I've got basically how I want it to look like, now I can go in and make everything as pretty as I want it to look, because I don't need it to have all those weird extra features, because
Hmm.
it's just not meant to it's not meant to have those weird scuff marks in it.
Right.
So now it gets to move to another area where there's no scuff marks,
Yep.
or I get to
S-
move it in.
So let me I think we're gonna get close to wrapping up. I'm starving, so
Yep.
um, but Liber, just to make sure I address it. So yeah, we'll have to um, we know that the ones with the placement tech won't scale, so we'll have to figure all that out. So all that's the creation of the cabinets is one thing, and then application of the various technology is separate from that. So and it's not dependent on the creation of the cabinet. So we could make some decisions and even or have more variations based on that. So
Oh yeah. I mean, once we got the tech going, it's kind of like what we did with the other stuff, with the podiums, which you all haven't seen yet. And we, before I could make some variations, we had to really proof of concept make sure that the tests were working properly. See there, now it's mapped properly. Uh, which I can show you all that really quickly too. Let me do that real fast. Let's see.
yeah.
So yeah, so for instance, I made that case out of this object, which you can see here better. And so this thing had a completely, it has the same decorations, but it completely looked to the way it was put together. So, but I want it to look like it was made by the same kind of craftsman. And as I go through here, by the way, I'm doing that for a lot of stuff. I want to make sure that as we start labeling things, which I actually have labeled the stuff I was working on for these guys, I have labeled them to where if you go and into the game, in fact, I'm going to go into the editor game, which you won't be able to see all the functionality, but you can see some of it. Then you can actually see that I have it labeled to indicate kind of who, like what nation in our world built it, or whether it was found as part of some ancient ruins or whatever. Now, what I've done here is I've created three different versions of the very basic wooden podium. The basic wooden podium wasn't much to look at. It was just simple boards. I don't even think I have it in here. Simple wooden boards, just slats. Didn't look like anything special. Looked like you might have made it in your backyard. In fact, I think it is the craftable version. But in this case, I wanted to make really special versions that looked like they were handcrafted by artisans in other nations, or had been pillaged, let's say, from ancient ruins. In the case of the obsidian-looking one. Wow, this is like, apparently it's gonna wait forever before it will let me jump into this game.
Hmm.
Give it a second. But yeah, so for instance, the one on the left is a wooden one, and I wanted to make sure that it looked like it was built by artisans, craftsmen in uh, uh, in distant. Oh goodness, I'm forgetting the name of the country, of the nation. Norgard. So Norgard craftsfolk made will have made those, and that is made in a style that is similar to the the Lord's hearths and such that are also from that area of Norgard. The one in the middle, I wanted to make sure was a marble one that looked like it was made with a lot of the same decorative elements that can be found by the craftspeople who made objects in Xenos in Elysium. Uh, and then the one on the far right looks like someone must have delved down deep and found some of the ancient stone artifacts in the old obsidian empire ruins, and then brought this back and sold it on the market somewhere. You all are seeing all this, right?
Yep. Hemnu says, Daddy needs a new auction podium.
Good. Because yeah, I figured that not only would it be fun to see these and also see the way they're labeled, but also I really made sure that you can decorate the heck out of all of them. And in fact, uh, 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 I especially I especially wanted to make sure that not only is the basic tech that's meant to show what you bump into, it uses a simpler mesh, but that the decoration, and of course, here we are in the lovely realm of doesn't the weather always suck when I jump into the game? But here, let me change that real quick. I'll set the time of day and I'll set the weather to make it not. There we go. Yay. Bye, rain. Bye. Still going to be that way for a moment. I get to run by the experimental lava pool. Here we go. And of course, let's get some light going. So yeah, you can see like the Norgard kind of pseudo Viking style, Norse style of stuff that we have here. And it's made to where not only can you decorate as much as it will allow you to decorate using the new technology we talked about, where we're using the actual full object mesh for its deco placement, so that it's not limited by what we manually place. It's just if it lets you place it, it lets you place it. And believe me, we were really playing with this to try to make sure that, I mean, I could put whatever I wanted on here. Even objects larger than you think they'd be able to fit are able to be placed on this upper rim. But we also made it to where, very much like the little easel that we had in one of the other things, if you drug a book over to it, it would pop the open book or the closed book on the little shelf at the exact right angle as if you're reading from it from the podium. But you could also put, wall candles on the side, or you could put stuff on the front if you wanted to, if you had like some little posters or maybe banners, or at some point in time, don't we have individual things with people's heraldry that people are able to hang up? That might be able to fit on these two. I try to make it as open as possible. So the same thing with this, but you'll notice that if that little tag, that little, let's see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. There's a lovely little brass plaque back there with writing on it. Oh, if only the camera could get closer, you might be able to even look and read the runes. But because they do say something, but what they don't necessarily say is this, which is proudly made by talented Norgard artisans. And likewise in this one says, proudly made by talented Elysium artisans. And then the last one says, acquired from ancient obsidian ruins. So that is kind of the thing that we wanted to get going with this. So yeah, for those who really love the weird and freakish kind of scary deco of the ancient obsidian empire, you can get one made like their style, which is a little bit different than the other two styles. If you really love the deco of Elysium, especially the Greco-Roman stuff found in Xenos and in the central temple of Xenos, you can get this particular one that I made. And if you like the podium style of the Norgard folks with their wonderful Viking pseudo kind of dragon faces and intricate wood nutwork and carvings, then you can get this sucker. I just wanted to make sure you had a nice little selection of them. Hopefully, you all enjoy the look of these. I enjoyed making them, and it was kind of fun getting all the functionality going on it. It's really neat to see the book pop in and you being able to put almost anything on the different flattened or straightened edges of all these things. And I really kind of carefully made the mesh to where nothing will look too wrong if you attach it to these surfaces. So I'm pretty pleased by how all those turned out, and hopefully you guys are too.
Great
And that's
job.
pretty much it.
Yep.
That's what I've been working on recently.
Yeah. All right, let me move the camera back down. Here.
And I'll go in and
While you were doing that, I wandered over into Blackblade Pass. because of the bug reports on that one. So
There we go.
way earlier on, somebody had asked, and I forgot who it was, but about the spawners for the lava rooms, and yeah, I'm still working on those. So my hope and intention is to get those out for this next release. And of course, the Black Blade, fixing the Black Blade room for uh, the damage stuff is what I wanted to fix first, because I can't have it where the spawns will actually end up getting damaged by the lava as well. So I want to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. So we'll get that going. So what just to say, since I'm here, that I am not able to reproduce this where I'm able to walk around it without catching flames. And even as a GM, I will still catch flames. I just won't take damage. So,
Oh, was that a problem? But now it's fixed.
yeah, well, but that's the thing, is that it's been reported that as of this release, that when it should be fixed, that it was still happening when they walk, specifically when they walk past this pole here. This is a very, it's a narrow, this is what do they call that? It's a bottleneck or whatever,
Yeah,
and
cul-de-sac.
it's the only way that you can get into the rest of the room. So they were saying that they were basically getting lit on fire as they're going through here. But you can see it's not happening to me. And if I get in here, I immediately get turned on fire. So, which of course I'm going to have zeros bouncing off of me because I'm in God mode. So, but and that's the thing. So I mean, I tested this thing and I do not know why. So I have to go look at what's going on with that one. If it's happening on previously placed rooms before the update came out, then that might be the reason why that's happening, and that might require a reseating of the room to activate the update, but it shouldn't. That's not the way it should behave. But I just figured I'd mention that because it's the only thing I could suspect. Um, it was either that or the update didn't get through into the live server. But I'm on the live server and it's working. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah. So I'm not sure
Oh,
about that.
since we are close to the end of the hour, you might as well start one more prize thing, and then that will, once we give that away, once it generates, when we give it away, we can call it done and go get food.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention while you might be doing that and setting up for the prize thing to generate itself, someone asked, Malhari asked, will there be a Shogun? Are you talking about a Shogun version of the podium? Um,
Cabinets, I think he was talking about
oh,
before.
the cabinets.
Yeah. Which
Uh,
not at the moment, but yeah. So once we get these things initially done, then we could, like I said, it opens up a whole range of things that we can do. So,
That's right. So yes, I'm so sorry, Malhari. Oh, cabinets too, but podium, yes. Well, yeah. I mean, the cool thing about the podium is they're fairly simple, and now that I have a basic idea of it, I can probably create a cultural version within the world fairly easily. And yeah, there is no reason why eventually we cannot come out with different sort of cultural versions. Like, so for instance, I didn't even do in Britannia, but like the stuff in Britannia happens to be Gothic kind of stuff up in there. So I might even be able to make a Gothic podium that has some really cool Gothic features to it. I could do a Shogun podium. That kind of stuff is pretty easy to do, and I certainly don't mind doing versions, especially if you all enjoy different cultural versions of them. The And maybe the doll cabinets as well. Yeah, because I mean, really, this is just me playing with a couple different versions, cultural versions. Now, by the way, there was another thing, and Steve, I wanted to mention this to you, since you're saying that you're kind of getting tired of the sort of the swirly green thing always leads to the dungeon or whatever, which
yeah.
is why there was the creation of that other dungeon entrance kind of thing. But someone had said, "Ooh, what if there is a cool cabinet that if you open it up like Narnia and you go through it, it takes you to your dungeon.
Oh
Now,
yeah, yeah,
I kind of like that idea. I think it's a really cool idea.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we actually have a list of about 15 dungeon entrances
Oh,
that that
folks are looking.
yeah, that were already like, yep, we're gonna do these. But like that, like having a wardrobe is one. There's an actual door that we're looking to set up that you literally just place it like deco on a wall, and it's a false door. But when you click on it, it's when you go to it, it's a teleporter.
Oh,
So
it teleports you
yeah,
to a dungeon.
yeah, yeah, I mean, think of it this way: it's actually more immersive. That you could have because that could even be a basement entrance. We could make a range that are basement entrances. So if you're on the first floor of a house, why not have a door that just says, "Oh, basement." Okay, and then that brings you to your basement.
Yeah, many houses have those.
Yeah,
Real houses in the real world have a
right.
little door that's just you open it and there's a stairway that goes down. We won't be giving you a stairway.
No, no, it's teleporter. So yeah. But you know, yeah, we have a whole list of things. There's a mine entrance. There's like cabinet, the door. There's a whole bunch of them, and basically one of the things we need to sort out is like whether or not we're okay with just like let's say the door, for example, which that one's a pretty good one. That you don't need any swirly at all. You don't need anything special. You just when you place it, it's clickable. And when a player sees it, it's a door, so they know it would be a clickable thing. So when they hover over it, and they click on it, it'll say, okay, this is a basement or a dungeon or whatever. Do you want to enter?
Right,
So it's not like there's a risk that they'll be tricked into clicking on something and loading a scene. So
right, right.
that's easy. And then like the green fire was that worked. Because it was uh, it's appropriate for the item.
Oh
As
yeah, yeah,
opposed to having uh, a basically a blue black hole in the middle of the thing. So
yeah. Well, and if it was something like a Narnia closet, then literally at that point you're, you it's a literal full-sized wardrobe. And if they walk up to it and kind of go in and open the door, then past several coats or jackets hanging, there's something that if you mouse over it and click on it, then like just like you said, it says, oh, this is an entrance to a dungeon. Do you want to go in?
mhm. Yeah, yeah. So these are relatively easy to do. So we'll be looking at getting those done. Because we don't even need to do very much of anything. We could even use existing assets for that. So
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah, nothing would need to really be created too much from scratch. So uh anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've gone over a lot today, actually.
yep, yep. So again, just I'm still working on the well, which is the adventure scene dungeon or adventure zone. That'll be over by the Birch Island area of Novia, and uh, that is like 50%, well, maybe 75% done. And then I got the spawns for the lava rooms, which of course somewhere behind those will be uh, uh, we'll also have to do water versions of the lava rooms, which implies some other stuff there too. And there was also a question which I am thinking about what I want to do with. It was I don't remember if it was an Ask a Dev or what. I mean, I saw it someplace where somebody was asking about possibly bringing the eighth level of hell back from. We did that in December last year as an event thing for Halloween. So I have a couple of weeks to look at that because I've been working on that dungeon, so it's kind of like in pieces. So there's a lot of lumber laying around and a few saws. So I have to see if I want to bring back the previous iteration of it, or if I want to fix some of the other stuff before I do that. But it all depends on how much I could get done in the amount of time that I have um, to. Whether or not we'll do that. But there is that possibility. But we'll update you guys more on that later. Yep, that's pretty much everything. I still don't remember exactly what had in mind when I wrote spooky stuff, but I think it had something to do with the just all uh, the store items that we had coming in. So
Right. I mean, and we've made other purchases too. We've been really going and figuring out things that we might be able to offer. I mean, were you intending to talk about any of the things that we purchased as
mm.
packages that we were talking about offering later, or is that for some later date?
Oh, that would definitely be for a later date. We don't even know. So just to say here, for everybody, we don't just buy things and then say, okay, throw them in store.
No,
I mean, you see, like that. I mean, again, for full disclosure, that Annabelle doll cabinet that he had as a reference next to the one that he's making, that was free. It's just somebody up there made something. And obviously, it's not a great looking asset at all.
no,
But
no. We won't be offering it either because it's
no.
poo
No,
poo to us.
it'll never go in the game. It's just it was a reference and it was free, so just grab it. And there's other stuff that we get for free, but we definitely put touches on everything and or even rebuild the stuff or just use it as a reference like this, and then go and make the item entirely. So with all that said, um, what Sky's referencing is a whole bunch of stuff that I've gotten. Some of the stuff is free, some of the stuff is paid for, but they're base items that we will go in and we will rework them so that way they meet our level of quality. Is that
Yeah.
some of these things they have like a ton of polys. I think I've done some of my work streams. I've showed you guys out there how like I bring up a mesh and it's like solid white, and that's just not viable. It's not something that I would throw in this game. At least not
No.
today. You never know because once we optimize everything, we might be in a better position to say, okay, in uh, things could go in that have more of a higher poly count, but um, I don't know what the likelihood of that would be. So, like even in that, so some things we could lower the poly count on those things. There's some ways either programmatically to do it a little bit, or make Scotty sit there for 2 weeks straight just staring at polygons and deleting tries and crap. But
Oh
uh,
God, no.
yeah, so
You will.
for the most part, that's some of the stuff is just not usable, and either we could grab the textures from those, or we get the meshes for things, and then we make brand new textures and remap the thing completely. Because like let's say the Annabelle cabinet, if we were to use that cabinet, then we would have to retexture it and remap the textures and everything completely anyway, because uh, the visuals either in this case they're just 1970s office furniture, but sometimes the visuals just don't match our game, or the visuals are really crappy anyway. So
Well, I mean, and here's an example because it's not necessarily because I don't want to like insult the artist that made it, but we don't. It's not even that they are creepy, although they sometimes are.
uh,
But sometimes we're dealing with something like here. If you can see my screen, we're looking at a lovely little set of wine bottles here. There's two wine bottles, and then there's a wine glass right next to it. They're so pretty. But if I go out of the game and go over and look at them and I really scrutinize them, then there is a problem with them, not because they're ugly, but because here looking at the wine bottles, oh yeah, okay, those are polygonal models, and I want to see the curves. That's pretty good. They're not, they look round, but they're also not super polygonally intensive for something that's small on the screen. Now let's look at the wine glass. Oh God. So now, no, this is again not to speak ill of the artist, but whatever artist made this, this was not made for a computer game. This was not made to be efficient for a gaming model. This is something that someone would render for a commercial, for like full blown, it looks like a real wine glass,
Hmm.
because that amount of polys is just nuts. It's nuts. And the answer is no to that. And even though it's in the game right now, I'm going to have to go and fix that because it's just too many polys. Too many
Yeah.
polys. So, and that's the kind of thing we have to look at. So when I build stuff like these things are made to be efficient. These things are made so that they don't go insane for poly count, and that despite how pretty the textures are, when they render, it's not killing the frame rate for stuff like this. But oh my God, is that not always the case? And we have to be very, very careful. I mean, even accepting stuff like these things, you know, we have to look at it and go, okay, how bad is it? Okay, if I zoom in, okay, that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. But man, I have seen some stuff that there's the polygonal, the vertex count. It's so thick that the thing looks like I'm looking at a white model, and that's not okay. It better be efficient. Otherwise, we just really can't accept it. We
Hey,
can't.
show them the glass again. You actually weren't on the main screen at the time.
Oh, was I not?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Here.
you were, it was up there, but it was really tiny. So,
Okay, can you all see it now?
yeah, they can
Pretty
see it
well.
now. Yep.
Okay, so to reiterate, this that's acceptable. That's okay. This acceptable. This. Oh, unacceptable. Not okay. Not even close to okay. Because when you're looking at something so close that the mesh itself looks almost white, but yet you're looking at things right beside it, and it's like, oh, look, the ground. No, we just do not need that many polys. So no bueno. It has to be fixed. I mean, you can see how carefully this was made. Carefully made so that it doesn't have too many polys. It has just enough to show off. But no, stuff like that just won't fly, and they have to be fixed. You look at that, which is this tiny object, in comparison to something like, you know, these things, which there were a lot of polys, but not so many that the whole mesh looks white, you know?
Yep.
So we can get away with stuff, but not too much stuff. Anyway, that's the point. That's the point with that. And that's the point Steven was trying to make too, because as pretty as it is, it's got to be right for the game. And it's got to look like it fits into the world of the game. And so we have to sort through a lot of stuff and figure it out and throw stuff away or rebuild it entirely, I'm doing with that case, or as I did with the podiums.
Hmm.
So, well, it's past 8. It's time to give away the last prizes, and then we'll see you all later for the evening.
Yep. That's it. So let me hit the button and then we'll get going.
How long does it take to generate?
Oh, 10 seconds.
Oh, nice. But yeah, hopefully you all found that. Hopefully you all found that cool. A little trip through neat stuff that we've been working on and good stuff we've been fixing, and all of it for the sake of you all having a better time in the game with us. Man, that's a giant dancing squirrel. That squirrel's huge.
Hmm. What squirrel?
There's a squirrel in the uh, named Peanuts Love Child,
Oh, okay.
who is as tall as the torso of uh, Nemesis Darkwood, the catastrophic crash survivor.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're over in Atos. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in Castle Ados. My little zombie guy has just been standing there the whole time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we
As-
got our last prizing is up.
Okay, good deal. Very well. Should I read the character name this time?
Oh, sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So we have a haunted Halloween doll,
That goes to Mondravis.
a purple potion cauldron,
That will be going to Anya Ginster or Ginster.
And the witch hat,
Older dude.
we have a witch's fireplace dungeon entrance set.
That will go to Duncan Brimstone.
And the final prize for the evening, a Cobalt 3-story tower village home, goes to.
Adric Silverson.
Congratulations to all the winners tonight.
Yes,
And I'm sure that I will get some hate mail from Laney with all the prizes that we have given out. Let me see. 1, 2,
that's
3,
okay.
4,
You know, I mean,
5
we were
times
here and you all
5.
stuck with us for a whole 4 hours,
Yeah.
which is always fun. Always great to see folks coming in and enjoying the show, so to speak. And hopefully you all got to see some good stuff and are excited about things coming on the horizon.
Yep. Loads of stuff coming. Things that we didn't even really get to. I mean, I touched on a few things in the dungeon stuff, but well, I'll be doing a work stream, I guess, probably Monday night. Um, and then yeah, Monday, Tuesday, that type of thing. Next week, hopefully I'll be online a bunch of the evenings and doing stuff. And well, Scott, you're welcome to join me if you ever want to. And that'll
Yeah,
be that.
I'll be getting on and doing some work too. So if there's some time for some sub streaming later on, just to show work in progress, then I'm pretty good with that too. And thank you, Brazen Hearted. We appreciate that. It'll be fun at some point in time to do player events again, but that will be in some unforeseen future once we figure out how to get something like that going again. And yes, congratulations, winners. Hopefully, you all enjoyed the stream tonight. Thank you so much. And I guess with that, we'll call it an evening. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. See you later, Brazen.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
All right, good night, everybody.